Hello everyone. My name is Lolo Rai and welcome to day 2 of Coliseum of Chaos. I am joined by the one and only fantastic Laurie. How are you, Laurie?
Oh, hello, I'm fine, thanks. It's too much of good words for me. You are fantastic yourself. I hope you are doing fine too. We have a beautiful day outside, and hopefully, those matches will be a great addition to our weekend.
Yeah, yesterday we started off pretty strong. So there were some good games yesterday. Overall, not even Phantom Pack of first today. Aftermath and Aftermath were dominating yesterday pretty hard. So they both got 2 victories each. And then there were some really good plays as well from Pure Luck and who can forget polling for Sister Rosaria's Holy Boobs, who has a fantastic team name. And there was also Restart, which was a team of new players. So it was really nice to see them kind of get into the fray and give it a good go.
Yeah, today I have high expectations for these matches. Because yesterday we know that Aftermath and Aftermath have been some prominent teams that have been winning lots of tournaments in the past, and it's hard for teams to overcome these two teams. But today we might even see more even matches or get a surprise upset even.
Yeah, I agree. I think yesterday the matches were, like I said, very dominated by certain teams, which was to be expected. Aftermath and Aftermath have some really strong players. But tonight, looking at the teams, I think we're in for some pretty exciting games, to be honest. All the teams look fairly evenly matched, so I think that it's going to be quite a competitive night. So let's just have a little look before we get going with our first match of the evening into the rules of tonight. It's fairly simple. One point of note is the teams can choose whatever map that they want to play on, whether it be the Feasting Grounds, Crystal Tower, or Lichenweed. Yesterday it was mostly Crystal Tower, which I don't blame the teams for, but we did have a single game of Lichenweed, which I really enjoy. I love Lichenweed. And that's probably going to remain the same today, with Crystal Tower being fairly dominant on the whole. And overall, the rules are pretty simple. It's not going to be a best of 5 or a best of 3, how people tend to expect. Instead, it's going to be 4 games, 4 matches, which gives the teams opportunities to draw. If a team wins 3 games, they automatically win, obviously, if they win 3 in a row, and they will get points for that. 3 points. It is 2 points for a draw and 1 point for a loss. Yesterday, we did have a couple of games that were fairly back and forth, but I'm expecting today we might even be able to get some draws.
Definitely. Even a draw would be happy for some teams, because you don't you will need every point you can get, and it may even cost you the next step to the brackets, to the finals, if you had a lose instead of a draw. So people will do their best and get every point they can, even when it's a draw.
Yeah, it makes the competition overall a little bit more interesting, which is exciting. And what makes it even more interesting, however, is the rewards. Now, these are the highest rewards that we've ever had in a community-led tournament for the entirety of Final Fantasy XIV, I believe. In total, we have 180 euros worth of Mog Station items, 70 million gil, some nice in-game items, and, of course, a hand-drawn portrait from Totoro, the one and only, the artiste, the magnificent artiste themselves, Totoro, which is pretty exciting, I think.
I would say it's even like the most valuable thing in there.
Oh, for sure, definitely. I to get like just the time alone that it takes to draw portraits, you know, that's a fantastic prize. And I believe it's going to be a portrait for each of the characters as well, which is fantastic. And they are very professional looking. But from what I am seeing, it looks like the teams are ready to go. So let's have a little look at the teams that we have in play today. The first game of the night is going to be led by the one and only Phantom Pack. And that is Phantom Pack. So a pretty strong team there. A lot of familiar names that we recognize. What are you thinking about them, Laurie?
Unfortunately, I'm a filthy light player only, and have only recently started to enjoy the adventures of Chaos Data Center. So I think you are more experienced with the kinds of player we are expected to see.
Yeah, we've got some familiar players. We've got Sykes, Environment as well on healer. We've got Core there as well. So we've got a really nice team there. But going up against them is going to be Hypno Squirrel. So some pretty evenly matched teams, I would say myself, which is really nice to see, quite exciting. One thing that I am interested to see tonight is yesterday we overall saw quite a lot of similar jobs. Every single healer yesterday was a white mage, and we saw pretty much black mages throughout the entire competition, with a little splash of red mage at the end. We did, however, see every single melee yesterday play. We saw Ninja, Samurai, Monk, and Dragoon. And then in terms of tanks, it was mostly Gunbreaker and Warrior. So it'll be interesting to see if it's going to be a similar story tonight. I imagine that is probably going to be a similar story. White Mage and Black Mage, as we know, is a very strong duo. But it would be quite nice to see potentially some other healers as well. If not, I might have to bite the bullet myself when I play sometime next week.
Yeah, you could be our experimental sheep there. May start a different trend toward the healers usage, but I think the standard comp is going to be often that we have White Mage and Gunbreaker just because it's so strong right now. And we, in an LP setting like that, you really need every help you can and every resources to get those, especially against teams that are well experienced. You just won't get every advantage you can get.
Yeah, we definitely saw yesterday as well, in terms of just pure burst, like, there's so much potential when you've got just Black Mage and White Mage alone, let alone when you then add things like Trick Attack from a Ninja or anything like that. It's quite insane. So we're just getting the teams ready now, and we are going into our first match of the evening.
We are going to play on the Crystal Tower.
Crystal Tower, perfect. Yep, I think most teams are going to opt for Crystal Tower. In terms of arena, it is probably the most balanced for the current meta that we have, and offers up a lot of different possibilities to line of sight and kind of get the advantage on your team. Yeah, so we are now into the game. Again, we're
Yeah, most
seeing
people are
fairly
just
similar
used to.
teams.
Yeah, most people are just used to the Crystal Tower map and scrims against others on these maps.
Yeah, we can see over on Zoidberg's team, we have Gunbreaker, White Mage, Ninja, and Black Mage. That Trick Attack Dia Dark combo is definitely going to come into play tonight. However, on the other side, we have our first Bard of the night, our first Bard of the tournament, which is pretty nice to see.
Yeah, it's not. It's kind of funny to see with a samurai, in my opinion, because you do a lot of pressure with a bard, and the bursts are not that sudden like the samurai.
Yeah, Bard is a tricky one to play, but if you can manage to get off that sleep into a silence, it really does show, like, it puts out a great amount of pressure onto the opposing team. They're going in there now and getting the burst started. Dia's going out on both of the melees as Razio's going back now and attempting to get that hide in to try and get that trick attack out, but he has been interrupted, unfortunately.
Yeah, and already the first match is starting, and we can see the additionals are...
10 Gil going down straight away.
The
really
first kill of the match.
Yeah, really fast burst there, definitely. Environment really didn't have time to react. A nicely placed sleep there from Sign. Neither of them being able to get out any kind of defensive or potion.
You know, what's interesting to see is that Razio is running Feather Ward on Ninja. You don't see that all the time.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, especially because Ninja is particularly quite fragile compared to the other ones. They're going back in again with that Dart Burst, but slightly delayed there, but still Core going down. I wasn't expecting that.
I wanted to see him in a more exciting even match. It's quite one-sided right now. I hope they will come back from this loss.
Oh, that Protect's going out, but just too late. Environment suffering from that CC, CC going out on Environment, meaning that he couldn't pop that Protect out in nearly enough time. They're really falling under that pressure, with Sykes going down now as well, which is making this a 600 match at the very beginning of the night.
600. That's not how it should be on the first match of Coliseum of Chaos.
Yeah, that's slightly unfortunate, but then we are just seeing how powerful Ninja and Black Mage can be. A combination is pretty insane.
They should blaming Aftermath, because yesterday it was a really tough and devastating match for the team. So they were full with rage today. They are filled with rage, and they will be coming back stronger now.
Yeah, definitely. And I think they've actually left the match, so we're going to re-queue in because we have got some more games to do. I'm wondering if they're going to be sticking to that combination there. Like I said, Ninja, Black Mage, White Mage, if they can get that off, it is really strong to deal with. And the fact that Razio just isn't taking arm's length it's definitely something that the other team can take advantage of, I think. Definitely.
I mean, it was a quick first kill, and suddenly a big steamroll, or a sudden 600 in the first minute of the game.
Yeah, definitely. Quite an unfortunate start there. They definitely just fell under the pressure of that. But we are going now back into the match for our second match of the evening. Hopefully this won't be a 600 as well, but we'll see how it goes. They definitely fell under the pressure there, unfortunately. Environment really struggling with dealing with that CC and not really being able to get out Protect at all there at the start of the game. Really need to try and predict that a lot sooner.
Yeah, the CC was on point. So sometimes as a healer you just can't heal everything.
Oh yeah.
If you get a perfect then you just see your teammates die and fall over. Like, they can't use their pods, and you are just disabled.
Yeah, I think if I was on Environment's team, the main issue is to try and keep up that pressure as much as you can. Especially against a Ninja Black Mage, you can't allow them to simply just go ham on you. You have to put up a good fight and try and push them back. So I'm hoping that we can see that today.
So Razio's going in. Maybe he's using his height right away, what usually those ninjas do, but
Yeah,
this
Razio
time we
trying to
see
go
him.
back and hide, but it's not managing to get out right now, unfortunately. He has missed that hide, and they're going in now for that Dart Burst on Core straight away. Core going down instantly again, not being able to use a single pot, or Environment being able to use defensive.
Honestly, if you see a ninja backing up like that and you are not able to break that hide, just go back and hug your healer or the board. Not even hug your healer. Don't hug your healer when there's a ninja in enemy side. You will both be silencing. You will be silencing your healer, you will be silencing someone else, and everyone just dies.
Yeah, we see that a lot in solo queue where people just fall back at the very start and just wait for that ninja's trick attack to come out. It's so easily predictable. Oh, Tengil is getting so low, but managing to use that arm's length. However, it has been overlapped with a protect there, which means that they don't have really anything left to defend with.
But it's still great to see that we don't have a follow-up kill. They managed to hold against that pressure and not get steamrolled and 600 again. Now with only the range depth, there's plenty of possibilities left to turn this game around.
Yeah, they're doing the Dart Burst now on Environment, which would be a perfect time to try and get that counter burst as they are in their base, but they're still just falling under that pressure right now. Ali is still just able to stand there and free cast as they're switching on to Core. Core going down really low, managing to survive, but there are no real defensives left. Environment has got to time that protect perfectly, otherwise Core's going to die very soon, I imagine.
I imagine so too. They have been pushing and getting the crates now. Now we will see who gets the limit break first, and wow, that was a sudden kill out of nowhere.
Yeah, Swift swapping onto 10 as he tries to go in to get the boxes. I don't think either Environment or 10 really expecting that hard swap straight away, but you've got to really just try and be on it in a light party. Right now, they are falling again.
Razio did just a good punishment. And now they're looking for pressuring their black mage. With calling subtly over like that.
Oh, Core getting really low. That protect's going out though, which is saving him. A really nicely timed protect there from Environment. They're still going to probably keep that pressure up on Core, but they're trying to get that counter burst now on Ali. Nice manipulation there though, back to Sign. They are falling under this pressure.
And the pressure's on the black mage, so they have to pay attention.
That limit break is going out onto Razio. Razio predicting that with a pretty perfectly timed arm's length there.
I wasn't a fan of that limit break, honestly, because the syncing up wasn't really great, and they really wanted to get to even auto-score the black mage and reduce the pressure of Environment, because they both seem to be struggling. So the wolf side goes to Len.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty bad situation for Environment's team to be in. They have just got to play on the defensive now because Razio has got that LB and they are waiting for it to come out anytime now.
Wow, all the LBs are ready. And it's calling. Now, let's see
that caster LB going out, but being met with a return tank LB, which is nicely timed. But that, the further we get into Cullen, the more deadly that LB is going to be. And that LB is going out now, going straight out onto Environment. Environment healer LB, but it's not enough, I don't think.
Environment is out of resources. There's nothing you could do. Oh, not even a repost could have
That was really painful to see, though, because Environment really did try their best. They purified, they were potting like crazy, but it just wasn't enough. With an LB in culling, it's way too much to try and deal with. Especially under this amount of pressure.
Yeah. Now, after losing your wolf set, now the pressure is even on, because when Environment dies, people have to use their pods, and now without pods, the pressure is even more on.
Yeah, I think under the pressure from Zoidberg's team right now, Phantom Pack is just ultimately struggling to align all of their defensives at a good time, as we can see there. Rampart going out and not a protect, and it seems as if the defensives on the Phantom Pack side aren't really being used in a great way, and they are getting punished for it.
Now anyone could be really win condition. Look at the medal count. It's really everyone carries some kind of medal. And now to turn this around, they really have to kill them.
Yeah, really they need to kill the healer and try and get a follow-up kill, but with 55 seconds left, I really don't think that's going to happen. They're not putting out enough pressure right now. playing very far back, which is not a great way to play with against a Ninja and Black Mage, in my opinion.
40 seconds left. It will be really hard now to get 2 kills, 3 kills. The discrepancy is way too big. So focusing on the next game already, what should they change up in your opinion to win the match? Because now it looks bad to
another
win it. Now it's not
600.
possible to win it. Yeah. Now the teams are only either drawing out or one of them wins.
Yeah, if Hypno Squirrel wins the next one, they are victorious of the first match of the evening.
And we have to go out and re-queue again. Fortunate.
Yeah, see, the issue that I'm seeing in terms of Phantom Pack is they're not really aligning their defensives or their cooldowns with each other. You can see there that things are getting overlapped. Protect and Arm's Length are going out at the same time. Rampart's being used when maybe a Reprisal would have been the better option. And that's really going to be punishing against such a strong team.
Yeah, Razio will see your mistakes and just punish them easily. The coordination of the team is really good with the sleeps and stuns too. So if you are out of positioning too, additionals may not even help you out.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate one. They're just falling under pressure ultimately. But it's been really well played from Hypno Squirrel here. They're aligning their bursts really well. And we saw from Ali some really nice aetherical manipulations to save them.
So the question is, how do you pressure that ninja now with that kind of comp?
Yeah, you've just got to keep going in. I feel like Phantom Pack is just playing ultimately very defensively. And it's meaning that Razio is free to kind of just build up, and Ali is free to just really plant themselves in the ground and free cast throughout the entire match, which is a real shame. They need to keep that pressure up entirely, but at the beginning, I think what their best play would be is to just try and bait out that trick attack dart at the beginning. Fall back, let Razio hide, let it come out, and just try and catch that with a nice counterburst.
Definitely. Now we see Razio directly going to heights, and maybe we see someone die immediately if they are not falling. But apparently they have learned the lesson.
They're falling back now. That trick attack going out with that dart on 10 Gil. Are they able to catch it? He hasn't popped Arm's Length, but that protect did go out. And now is the perfect time to try and get that counterburst before Sign's team can fall back and get back to safety.
I think they just soft burst the 10 Gil just to get out some cooldowns. Now they may be even switching to core.
I'm really rooting for them. You know when you're kind of like rooting for like the underdogs? I would love for like Phantom Pack to just randomly 600 Hypno Squirrel right now. Like just go full god mode,
funny.
like.
That would be so funny. Unfortunately they're bursting into a protect and core just let the expectation down.
Yeah, they're just
so
again falling under the pressure, but they can definitely do it. We have seen Phantom Pack get members of Hypno Squirrel quite low, so it is just aligning those bursts at a good time and not falling under the pressure. They're carrying on that burst now on 10 Gil. That protect going out really early there on 10 Gil, and that is going to come back to really punish them as they get that burst off now. Going on to Environment. Environment struggling. Yep. That's what happens if you use Protect too soon.
Yeah, I really like that they are just in their base and trying to play defensively, because as far as I know, if you stay in the base like it, you get a defensively bonus and take less damage if you stay there.
Oh yeah, the base bonus?
Yeah, the base bonus. You didn't know about it? That's why they're doing it.
If you're on the stairs, it's plus 50% defense. If you're on the base, it's 100% defense. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. Nicely healed there, though. A good use of pots there from Tengil. Environment holding on to that protect, which is going to put them in a nice position as they try and get that counterburst out on Ali, but Ali is just way too far back now, hiding behind the wall as they are trying to go and get another burst out on Tengil.
It's not bad that the healer is dying, so you can get all the mana back and maybe try to turn around. There's plenty enough time already, but now I think they have to take attention and secure the crates, especially the Wolf's Hut, and then with that, get some pressure on, make land out of mana, then maybe turn the tides.
That trick attack and dart going out on Tengil, going out straight away. Tengil getting really low, protect not being able to be used, and Ten getting CC'd as well. This is what I'm talking about in Light Party, when there's just such good coordination that basically the goal of Light Party is to make sure that you can just hit the enemy team before they can even react.
And you can even kill a Samurai just like that. And we see a Limit Break use just I think to get some pressure on. A
bit of a desperate LB there, I think, though, but it didn't really do much, and they are trying to keep up that pressure now. But what I'm seeing from Phantom Pack is they're just falling back a lot. Sign getting that Wolf's Heart again, which is just what they need to carry on Deering.
Yeah, Len is just needing it with being right now. So with any burst coming in, he will be surely prepared.
Yeah, a good burst there on Sykes, but nicely healed, nicely defended. There was an overlap of Protect and Reprisal, which means that now they really have to push in and try and get that kill before Razio's burst is back up.
Yeah, I like how Razio pulls back and just play it safe now, because they know they are winning and they don't have to take any risk anymore.
Yeah, they're just gonna lead the enemy team into their base, and they've still got that LB, which they're just holding on to now, and it's going to be any minute before it comes out. Core going down really low, going down very powerfully, but managing to survive. A nice use of potions there, and a healer LB going out, but he's still getting really hit hard. Unfortunately, physical ranged is a rather easy target to go for to just keep up pressure in instances like this.
Always has been. That's why you see every melee running after the range. Especially in cooling like that, you know, if you play range, oh shit, it's time to get tunneled by a melee.
Yeah.
If it's a Dragoon, even more.
Yeah, if you're a physical range, like, part of the job description is to die.
Yeah, just die. I'm
literally
signing up for that. That's what it is. Hey, there we go, another 600. And
another 600.
They snatched the victory just.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. So that's a sweep from Hypno Squirrel. 3 600s in a row, which is rather painful to see. But it was a good fight put up there from Phantom Pack, and hopefully Phantom Pack will be able to just reflect on this game, and hopefully next time we see them, coordinate their skills a little bit better in their defensives. But ultimately, very good game.
Yeah, they have been showing their skill that they may be able to put up with Aftermath overall. Next time they will be matching against them.
Yeah, that was unfortunate to see. But well played to both teams there. Really nicely played from both teams, regardless. That's just the power when you've got, especially White Mage, Dia Trick Attack and Phantom Dart is just insane to heal. And when you don't have Adel on your team, if you're taking, for example, a physical ranged, you've really got to be spot on with your silences and your defensives, because one mistake means that the enemy team can just really take advantage of that. But that was our first match of the evening, so good GG's to all of those teams involved still, regardless. We are just going to try and arrange now our second game of the evening. And our second game of the evening is going to be between two teams that I am pretty excited about in general. So let's have a little look and see what teams are going to be playing next. Starting up with the first team, please welcome the incredible, the amazing Skinny Legends, period. They have been plucked. They have been primed. Skinny Legends period are ready to go. We can see that there's a couple of light players on that team, which is really nice to see. Really nice to see. And I'm quite interested to see what composition they're gonna be using in this game, which is gonna be quite nice. And up against them is going to be the one, the only. We have just seen them once, and now we are going to see them again. Phantom Puck! So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out this time. Like I said, we've got a nice disparity of players here. And it's really nice to see some light players as well. Later on tonight, I think we have a team actually that is fully made of light players, which is pretty nice to see as well. But it'll be interesting to see how Phantom Pack can hold their own against this team now as well.
Definitely to see Phantom Pack is have shown that they have some kind of experience and may be able to hold up against the last team, but maybe they can turn it around and show their real strength now against light players. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I'm pretty psyched for it. One thing, like I said before, that I am really wanting to see though is I'm wanting to see just some changes in healers right now. We have seen a white mage in every single match, and I really want to see some sick scholar play, because we know that there are players out there who can do it.
Do you say that because you're healer main, or do you say that because you're just exciting to see teams to fail?
Well, the thing is, white mage is definitely the strongest healer by far, but I actually think that Astrologian really shows its potential in light party, especially. When you've got a coordinated burst, especially if you've got something like, say, a warrior and trick attack and dart, you don't really necessarily need that extra damage from a Dia to get the kill. And on the other hand, Astrologian has a lot of tools that can be used defensively. Celestial Opposition's really nice, Neutral Sect is really defensive and really nice, and if you luck out and get a lady, you've literally got 2 protects on your team, which is vital when you're against high-pressured environments like this.
Yeah, I think so many defensive can draw out a lot of pressure away and even get so far and secure some kills, because you have more free to cast other things.
Yeah, definitely. White Mage definitely excels in terms of just doing the damage, but we're seeing just how powerful synchronized bursts are, that really they don't need those extra glares or that Dia potentially. So it would be nice to see, but it's looking like we're potentially going to have another White Mage game tonight. But we are just trying to arrange the teams and get them all into order right now, which is going to be pretty cool. But yeah, it was nice yesterday when we definitely saw all of the melees at a really high level, because especially things like Ninja or Dragoon even in Light Party, people definitely underestimate the amount of pressure that they can keep up. We saw some really nice Dragoon play yesterday, and it does help, obviously, that they are kind of a ranged job now.
Yeah, when you have 2 range in your team, you can stay back, don't really push in, and if you need it, then Dragoon just goes into melee range anytime to smite, and jumps back out, just like that. It's really safe and still does a lot of pressure.
Yeah, definitely. And the what we saw in the last game as well is just you can't let Ninja and Black Mage wail on you. Ninja especially, it really helps when there's no pressure on the enemy team and they can fall back whenever they want to get their burst ready, to get that trick attack prepped. And you've got to keep pushing. You've got to keep pushing to just try and make sure that they can't do that. Otherwise, your healer is going to cry. And I'm just speaking from experience, because I cry a lot in Feast.
Yeah, I feel that.
But yeah, we are still just waiting for the teams to join. And while we are waiting for the teams to join, I am just going to show us once more who is going to be playing in this match. Once again, please welcome Skinny Legends, period. I just love that name. I'm like obsessed with that name, and I know that Mimi chose that name. Like, that is literally Mimi. That is Mimi doing that. Which is insane. And joining them once again, please welcome the one, the only, Phantom Pack. And there we go. That is the game that is going to be coming up very shortly. We are still just waiting for players to join in. I see in the chat that Mimi is Mimi. Yes, they are. They are. But I respect that, for I am a meme myself. And yes, we would also just like to thank especially Dane and Kiwi for their amazing work in creating all of these beautiful slides, which is really nice. And also, we would just like to send our well wishes out to Dane, as he isn't very well right now. So if we could just all send lots of love towards Dane, that would be amazing.
We got some small technical issues with the party finance, so it may take a couple minutes, so please be a bit patient so I can recreate Finder.
No problem. But yeah, lots of love in the chat, which is good to see. So yeah, we are just going to quickly take a quick break while we are waiting for the teams to join. And until then, please go and help yourself get a beer. Go get a drink, because I know that I am. And we will be back in literally 4 or 5 minutes. See you soon! We are back! Like I said, it wasn't going to be 15 minutes. I would never leave you leave you waiting that long. Because I know you're itching, waiting, as am I, to be honest, as am I, to get into this game. But we do have both teams ready now to go in, which is fantastico, fantastico. And I'm excited to see what kind of combinations we have. We have fairly decent combinations here that I can see on my screen. I'm pretty excited, pretty excited. I'm hoping that Phantom Pack can stay just as well coordinated as they can to try and get this, try and just keep up that pressure and get some kills themselves, really. They did get pretty close. They did get pretty close, but it just wasn't enough to do it in the last team, huh?
Definitely not, but it will be different this time. We will see how they will perform. Right now, we will be going on the Crystal Tower map again, as usual. And then we will see how the first bursts are going to be like.
Yeah, we've got all teams ready now, so we are going to go into the match. And let's get this one going. I'm expecting this to be pretty evenly matched, I think. It always helps, especially when you're warmed up, you know, and Phantom Pack has been able to warm up a little bit from that last game. So we are heading straight in to the arena, where we can see the same team from Phantom Pack over here with that Gunbreaker, White Mage, Samurai, and Bard. But we also have an interesting combination on the other side. Not only do we have the legend themselves, Kim Taeyong, who's probably going to give us a song at some point, but we have two Bards, which is nice. Yesterday, like I said, was very much dominated with Black Mages.
Yeah, we even have the same combo, as you can see. Exactly the same.
Oh yeah, and now yeah, Efta just changed over to Samurai, which is really nice. So I think this is going to be an interesting one to see, and potentially more evenly matched.
Definitely, but now a Dragoon on the other side may change things up. Now we have a true pressure comp on the left side.
Yeah, now we're back to Dragoon, so it's going to be an interesting one to see. Like I said, the real ability of White Mage and Bard is to be able to really sync up that silence and that sleep. That double CC is always super strong. Going straight in now with that burst, it's a duo burst on both of the bars, but both of them being healed really nicely. Seeming like Phantom Pack is able to survive a lot easier when they're not up against that really deadly trick attack and dart.
And you can see the pressure is even on. They're pushing right into the enemy team, the red team's base. Bursts aren't happening right now, but we may even see a hard switch on the range, and there we go.
Nice! Really nice burst there with Sarah going down, really taking advantage of the fact that there was no reprisal and no protect on Skinny Legend size, which is putting the odds in the favor of Phantom Pack.
Yeah, environment is already low on resources, and the pressure is just so increasing.
Yeah, environments. Yeah, environment's MP getting quite low, but I think they're really relying a lot on just steering the hell out of the enemy to try and keep up that pressure. They are going to get burst pretty hard now, though. 10 Gil getting fairly low. Environment managing to keep him up, though, with a bunch of instants as they try and get that counter burst onto the enemy Dragoon. 10 Gil going low. It is a melee versus melee battle right now.
Oh, it's so harsh on environment, as you can see. I think Kim Tae is really comfortable right now. And the pressure is on the red team.
Yeah, we're seeing Phantom Pack is falling back once against their base, but the enemy team isn't really pushing them too hard right now.
Don't forget to increase defensive if you stay in the base.
10 Gil going in for that burst. They're going down onto Efta, but Efta are catching that instantly with a nice arm's length there. Getting stunned, but they're getting that counter burst out now. trying to go for Tengil. They're really trying to go for the melees on both teams right now.
Yeah. Oh, Protector's coming up, and Efta died.
Really
It's
nice
unfortunate
silence
to
there,
see.
though, from Core, which meant that Efta just couldn't get any pots out, which was really nicely played. And they're keeping that pressure up now on Mimi. Mimi getting fairly low, but managing to survive. Both healers are going to really need that Wolf's Eye, I think, to try and recover this game.
I think to elaborate, you should explain who is Mimi in this kind of
Mimi
match.
is the legend that is Kim Taeyong, also known as Mariah Carey from Light.
Everyone knows them. Everyone knows that person.
Your favorite
can
pop
see them
princess.
Now the Wolf's Heart is coming up in the middle. Let's see who will get it, because it's really necessary. Environment will be quite comfortable with getting it now.
Yeah, Environment's team managing to get that, but they're keeping up the pressure that he can't actually go and get it himself. They're getting that counterburst out onto Sarah, though. Sarah pushing themselves in, but Sarah is going straight in there, which is quite deadly. Trying to get that burst onto Core. Core going low. That LB is going out now. Is Sarah going to... Oh! Nicely done.
It was directly in base. Should have kited a bit more, I think. With all the limit breaks up and additionals, I didn't expect Core to die like that.
Yeah, Environment's still not able to go for that Wolf's Eye in the middle, and I'm thinking that that Wolf's Eye is probably going to go very soon. It's been up for like a minute nearly.
Well, it really stays there. But
He got it. Phew.
Oh, he got it. But it's difficult without the LOS.
Oh, no!
The LOS.
I mean, this is very much what I would do. Sacrifice anyone you can for the Wolf's Heart. The Wolf's Heart is way more important, but that was a real shame. Environment ran to get it, and unfortunately, his team suffered.
Yeah, they've given away their lead. No, it was quite comfortable now, and I thought they would win, but now they have to really get back on their feet to turn it back around.
Core getting really low. That
Mendoza.
Protect going out, it wasn't enough though. That Protect was slightly late, and unfortunately, Core goes down. This means that Skinny Legends are getting quite a nice comeback. This game is already really interesting to watch. I think double physical ranged is really interesting to see play out in action.
Definitely. There's tons of AoE going on. If you watch it, just see the particles flying everywhere.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And Tengil getting that burst now. Tengil getting burst fairly hard, going down really low in a single GCD, but managing to be kept up by Environment, who now has full MP. They're keeping up that pressure now, really trying to get that comeback, which they need to do. After getting caught there in base as that healer LB goes out. A nice tank LB there as well from Ice-T.
No, it may save up now some time, and they just need to play defensively. There's no real pressure now. Even if you kill like the range or just a melee, you will win. And with only 20 seconds left, it doesn't look too good.
No, unfortunately, Skinny Legends did get that back, which means that Phantom Pack have just got to keep pushing as fast as they can to try and get that final kill. In the last 10 seconds, though, it's really looking unlikely.
Yeah, so I think we were going for the next match already.
Yep, and there we go. A really nice comeback there from Skinny Legends Period, who take the first match of the game. Very nice, very nice.
That was really nice, yeah.
Yeah, very evenly matched teams, like I said. Overall damage is pretty consistent, and healing done pretty consistent as well from both of the teams here, which is very nice to see. Very nice to see. Like I said, sorry,
yeah,
what you saying?
Environment was focusing on healing a lot. I think damage is a bit lower and unusual for a white mage, but it's hard if you're getting pressured like that with a Comp Dragoon and Bard. That puts up tons of AoE pressure.
Yeah, definitely. But really nice damage from everyone involved. We saw there exactly what I was saying in terms of Bard's capabilities, in terms of really syncing up that CC. If you can sync up that sleep or that stun from the tank with that silence, you can have a really long CC that a healer is just not going to be able to heal through in these kind of high-end games.
Yeah, definitely. So you can know it's you're safe in solo queue games that even there it's so hard to do so, to keep up.
Both teams sticking to the same comp right now. I'm hoping that Phantom Pack will be able to keep up that pressure. It seems like they've gained a lot of confidence from the last match, and I think really they dominated the first half of that match and just fell at the end there. But hopefully it'll give them the confidence that they need to hopefully keep up that pressure and maybe steal a kill. You've got to root for the underdogs, you know?
Yeah, of course, always root for the underdogs. I think now in this game, Core they have to pay attention to Core positioning and trying to peel on keep them alive so the bot can put out the pressure that is needed to kill the enemy team.
Yeah, and ultimately they've just got to try and they're finding it a lot easier to keep up that pressure, it seems, which is really good to see, especially when last game they just fell under that pressure that is a Black Mage's Phantom Dart. When it's compared with a Trick Attack, they just weren't able to survive without having any kind of addle, which means that going against another Bard is really evening up this game.
Yeah, you have less defensives, but the offensive choice of Concentrate and Binding is definitely different to see than just an addle.
Yeah, that feint went out there on Sarah, but no follow-up burst from that as Sarah managed to get back out, and that has really put them in a bad position now as their damage is going to be lacking quite a bit for this next burst. But no, I am corrected. Sarah goes down, pushing a bit too far in there, which was unfortunate with no protect being used.
There's a funny fight right in the middle. Everyone cuddled up in the middle and just brawled there.
Yeah.
You love that to see as a healer when they all are cuddled up and you don't see who's really attacked or going to get the next target.
I hate it, especially when you're in the corridor and you can't see who's going to be burst next because everyone is just standing on top of each other. It's the worst feeling.
It's still lovely for Bard though. They just get their gauge very high and can use the burst sooner. And again, we see a brawl in the middle. No words used whatsoever.
Yeah,
That's
that feint and silence going out on Efta there, but Efta managing to survive, and now they're trying to get that counter burst out. I believe that they're going for 10 gil, trying to get that final burst before they can go for those boxes. It's turning into a melee versus melee match again in the middle right now.
Yeah, usually we would see the Dragoon spamming Talon, but that's a melee Dragoon, like a true melee.
Yeah, they're keeping up that pressure and just staying in the entire time, which is interesting to see, because like you said, Dragoon can stay as far back as they want. So it usually makes sense, and you see it a lot in solo queue, that Dragoons tend to try and just lead you into their base with their talons, and then as soon as you step in, bam, get that counter burst. But it doesn't seem like that's the playstyle that's being used right now, but Eftar is getting pretty low, that feint going out, but they're getting that counter burst now on Core. Core managing to survive, but there is no protect or reprisal, which is making Phantom Pack a pretty easy target right now.
We are in culling now. Now it's going to be hard. What do you think is...
Oh,
wow.
That double LV going out there in culling 2, I believe, which was, yeah, way too much for environment to handle.
Yeah. What do you think is the right way to handle a culling like that?
Probably just cry. That's what I would do. Just cry. But no, when you are in a culling time, it's very much kill or be killed. You've just got to go. A lot of times in culling times, you'll see people will really hold on to their countdowns, hold on to their bursts, and you've just got to go for it. You can't wait around for your next big burst, because otherwise you're going to die, and we saw that there. There's no way that Core was going to be able to survive that double LB in a culling.
You just die so easily. Even a single LB on melee can cost everything.
Going for Sarah. Sarah getting caught out there on the stairs, unfortunately. That's really unfortunate to see. Getting caught on the stairs, getting CC'd, and Mimi, Kim, being unable to really save them or get out of protect in time.
I like them falling back after getting hit by the range limit break. But it's good to see for healers when they just don't jump in. They are vulnerable.
Yeah, but again, medals. Oh, that LB is going out now. They're getting it out onto Efta. Efta getting low, but a really nicely timed LB there from Kim, saving him perfectly as they fall back and try and just recover their resources before they go in for that counter burst.
They're pushing really far in now. Either they play defensively or they try to get the counter pressure on, because anyone really can turn around the tide if they die. A lot of metal is on Tenjil.
Yeah,
Not even on the thing.
Yeah, Tenjil's actually got 175 medals right now, and they only need 25 medals to draw. So that's a pretty scary situation to see, especially when they don't have an arm's length. And you can see it.
Yeah.
I think Tenjil's kind of scared to go in because I think they're realizing that they've got all of the medals, and the entire game is now really much on their shoulders with only a minute left.
Yeah, definitely as a healer you want to focus on your melee now. Even when your range would die, it would just force a draw and it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, that Protector's gone out onto Tenjil, but very early. Tenjil having to run out now because there is simply no defensive. If they go for him with only 40 seconds left, that is going to be the game.
It's time to Mario Kart now.
Yeah, he's just got to try and run as fast as he can now. With 30 seconds left and no arm's length, there is no protect. Reprisal would be really useful. Reprisal going out.
Die.
Oh no!
It turned around so quickly.
That's really unfortunate to see.
Should have Mario Kart is really.
Yeah, that's a really unfortunate situation there that we saw. Unfortunately, Tenjil taking 175 medals with no arm's length is just really deadly because they lost all pressure for around the final 2 minutes of that game.
I mean, if you notice how many medals you have, you just run, like, kite around everything.
Yeah,
if you really want to.
With 30 seconds, the thing was, I felt like they, unfortunately, they fell back too soon. What they needed to do, they had 175 medals with about a minute and a half left. With a minute and a half left, that's when you've got to push in. You've got to try and get another kill so you can try and get more medals to try and even that up as much as you can. But they fell back with about a minute and a half left, which is just really hard to heal from your healer. In the final 30 seconds, yeah, that's when you've probably got to Mario Kart it, and that's when you've got to play super defensive. But if you've got a minute and a half left and you have got 175 medals and they are just going ham on you, you've got to keep that pressure up. Otherwise, you're going to get killed. So that's unfortunate to see because they nearly took it, but very close games here. Really exciting steals in both of those games from Skinny Legends period, which is really painful to see. I really do feel for Phantom Pack because I have seen this situation many a time in solo queue. And this is why I cry. This is why I cry myself to sleep.
Damn poor you are. Maybe they will make you stop cry and turn around now in this game. It won't be able. They won't be able to win anymore and just put off a draw. But points are points, right? So let's hope. Let's hope they get.
So
at least 1 or 2 wins now.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Phantom Pack are unable to win this game now with 2 losses. But there is the possibility to draw if they can win the next 2 games. And there is very much a possibility of that happening. Both games so far have had Phantom Pack really leading, and then unfortunately just falling under that pressure at the end as they start to play a bit too defensively too soon.
Yeah, they have to secure their win somehow. I think the potential is there.
Oh, it's definitely there. It's just whether or not they can do it. If they hadn't better medal split in that last game, they would have won. They would have won, undoubtedly.
Yeah. Alright, and now it starts, and we can see. Yeah, eagerly to sprint in and try to get the first kill.
Yeah, those early Dias going out, which is always a good start for a white mage to try and build up their lilies. but it's always really hard to see at the very beginning who is going to be burst, which is why Environment has popped their wings at the very start there. But those wings, unfortunately, are going to run out before this burst happens, with that counterburst going out on Core as they try and go for Kim. Kim getting silenced and stunned at the same time there, but managing to survive fairly easily.
So what's your opener as a white mage? Do you also run in and just assist everyone, pop your wings, and hope that nobody dies?
I always run in and make sure to Dia both DPS, just so that Dia is up on both of the potential first targets. And it also means that the enemy white mage can't really predict it that well. Core going down there straight away. Very unfortunate, taking advantage of the fact that both Reprisal and Protect were on cooldown. And yeah, they are struggling now with that pressure as Tengil is carrying on with the taking the brunt of all of that damage.
There he goes with the Bloodbath, getting some AoEs out to keep himself alive. Now, they have to push back and try to get some pressure on the enemy range, because so far Sarah has a lot of free time to just apply a lot of pressure.
Yeah, Box is going out there, but unfortunately they're really not getting much pressure out from Phantom Pack. Phantom Pack getting targeted there as Tengil tries and goes for the Adrenaline Kit. Managing to survive though, which would be a really good time to try and do a counterburst, but he's running out.
No, maybe it's a good time to bait them into your base and maybe get the limit break off.
And yeah, the baiting is exactly what happened there. Baiting Sarah directly into the middle so that they can just launch directly onto them, which is honestly a really smart play for a Dragoon. That feint going out now onto Efta, which is keeping up that damage. They're splitting up their offensive skills really well on Phantom Pack, to be honest, which means that they are trying to keep up that consistent pressure.
I love that Phantom Pack backed up after they saw the Protect and the defensive going out, and now going back in after a lot of is used again.
Yeah, that LB going out there, not really doing much, but both teams are really low on defensives right now. They're trying to get that burst out, going onto Core once more. Core getting really low, but managing to survive as Ice-T pops their Reprisal. Neither team are really committing to the burst right now. I think they were waiting for that Wolf's Heart to appear.
Yeah, Gold's Heart goes over to Kimte. And now with cooling coming up soon, it will be really harsh on Environment with those little amount of mana left.
Yeah, it seems like Skinny Legends are trying to bait the enemy team out again. They're not pushing in too far because they really don't want to get caught off guard. Efta has got his melee LB, and I think he's waiting for the perfect time to try and trap the enemy team into it. That LB going out now, another double LB! No! These double LBs!
That was an unexpected. Going for the healer right after Cooling Star and with those LBs.
Oh, really can Core survive? Can he survive? He's trying his best. No.
Ah, damn.
He tried. GG. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. That double LB just knocking Environment for 6.
That was well coordinated. You don't see that often.
I love seeing double LBs, man. They're so fun to watch, especially when they work. Environment just got deleted.
It's even more fun in solo queue if the stars align and it hits both at the same time, and you just watch the say healer. Oh shit, they're dead. Bye.
Oh. I'm really loving these games so far because they're all pretty even. There's still a very good potential for Phantom Pack to try and steal this. Ice-T does have 200 medals, but it seems like they're going to try and keep up that pressure on Eftar with his 125.
It will be really hard to kill that Gunbreaker. Ice-T is really good surviving, and with the tank LB up, they have to bait it out somehow and then go straight. Maybe for the heal and get follow-up here.
Yeah, really, they've got to try and kill the tank ideally, but they're not even keeping up enough pressure right now to really bait out that tank LB or that Rampart. Because with that Protect, Healer LB, Tank LB, and Rampart, they're not going to get that kill. But it seems like they're still going for Eftar, curiously.
With cooling now, it would be a good time to swap, but with a lot of additionals up, Rampart being used now, it remains exciting, but the last 20 seconds, I don't think there will be any kill left. And
no, Ice-T just using their Tank LB now, and they used their melee LB on Eftar, which just wasn't really the best play in my opinion. And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be another win for Skinny Legends. Period.
I'm sorry. You will be crying another night.
Oh, they really did put up a good fight. It's so painful to see because Phantom Pack really did nearly win at the beginning there, but unfortunately, it just wasn't happening.
It was unfortunate, but maybe it was a bad day, and next time they will be coming back and stronger.
Yeah, it was painful to see because Phantom Pack were really dominating at the very beginning of the first game. And then on the second game, they nearly won, but it was that final 30-second steal from Skinny Legends that just managed to snatch their wigs.
Don't worry, it's an underdog story. We will get the redemption arc coming, you will be happy, and you will be buying their merchandise soon.
I always root for like the underdogs, to be honest. I always root for the underdogs. I'm always like wanting to see them just turn it around, and they nearly did there. So really nicely played from Phantom Pack. There was some really nice survival there from Core, who tried to survive as best as they could after Environment got knocked out by that double LB. But that double LB was spicy.
It was spicy. It was really good.
Yeah, like I could feel Environment's heartbreaking. Unfortunately. But that's karma, because Environment always steals my wolf's heart. So, you know, can't be too mad.
So now we're getting ready for the next match.
Yeah, we are getting ready for the next match with the teams joining, and as soon as they do, I will introduce you to them. That really nice game there, though. It's very interesting to see two bards going against each other. I personally find that when you've got a physical range against a physical ranged in solo queue, I find those games to be the most enjoyable to play from a healer's perspective.
What about two Machinists?
Yeah, Machinist is very good as well, to be honest. I enjoy physical range, but I do definitely feel that when you're against a really strong coordinated team that holds a Black Mage, a coordinated dart burst, and having Addled as well, just for when you're not bursting, unfortunately I don't think that Bard and Machinist hold up to it as much. But still, it's interesting to see.
It is. It doesn't hold up to its right, but there's this big hatred for Machinists. Do you know why?
Do I know why what?
Why there's such a big hatred for Machinists?
I don't know, because to be honest, like, all of the Machinists that I've played with, on Chaos at least, have genuinely been quite good. I think the problem isn't really with physical range so much as it is with just Black Mage being really dominant right now, and it has been for the past 3 or so seasons. Same with White Mage. Black Mage, White Mage is a really deadly duo, and we're seeing it in Coliseum of Chaos over the past 2 days, where that combination is being utilized a lot, and being utilized really efficiently.
And that's all it matters then for these kind of usages, because it can secure a win just like that.
For sure.
The small things add up over time, and you notice also as a healer, like if you're behind a bit, should have casted that cure, then you will be relieved of the pressure of the game.
Yeah, it's easy to fall very behind with heals in light party, especially if one thing goes off of, goes out of plan. If you pop protect too soon, or your tank pops reprisal too early, anything like that just goes astray, it's just really punishing, and you can really notice it. Personally, I find it really hard on White Mage to recover with those heals, because the minute that you have to start spamming Cure 2, it's really setting you up for a loss later on down the line, because you're just wasting way too much mana. That's something that I think Astrologian actually really succeeds in. Having access to neutral sect means that you can really kind of keep up that healing that you need to do should you fall behind. And if you manage to luck out and get a lady when you need it, you're Gucci. You're Gucci.
Yeah, because if nothing is happening and we are going straight to call while you have been spamming Q2, then Astrologian will be happy to say, see, I still have my knock if shit goes down, and I'm still really good on mana.
So we are getting ready for the next game now, which is going to be between, once more, Skinny Legends period and Pure Luck, who we saw yesterday. So let's have a little look at who is going to be playing in both of these teams. First up, please welcome, once more, to the arena, Skinny Legends period. So there we see the Skinny Legends themselves. They have been primed, plucked, they've been dieting for this moment, and they look fantastic. Really strong team there, as we've seen, and I think it's really been a really good couple of games for them, especially with those last-minute steals, to try and build up their confidence and get them ready. However, the next team also does have a fair bit of practice, and we did see them yesterday. Please welcome Pure Luck. And that is Pure Luck back into the game. Yesterday, they did have some fairly good games, but unfortunately were not victorious, as I believe they went against Aftermath. But they did put up a really good fight and managed to get in, actually, a couple of wins on their side, which was really nice. So it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. As we see in Pure Luck, they have got some really experienced players from Chaos, and I would be pretty scared going against them, to be honest.
Yeah, now with what's going on the Skinny Legends team, even though you know that's a team that's just thrown together, like as far as I know, they haven't been really in any tournaments so far together, and it's like the first one, and they're still doing pretty good syncing up.
Yeah, that's one thing that I was thinking yesterday when I was watching, because they went against a team that's been playing together for quite a while. So the enemy team has, from yesterday when they went against Aftermath, they had, the enemy team already had that team synergy, which takes a long time to build up. But it was really nice to see that Pure Luck, despite not playing for very long as a team together, they've really managed to kind of sync up and know when to use their stuff and know how to get out a really solid burst still.
Definitely, I can only go better with overtime the further we go into the tournament.
Yeah, I think so. It'll be interesting to see how they they do today against Skinny Legends. And I think this will be an interesting game to see. Skinny Legends sweeping those last games, but I think Pure Luck might give them a little bit of competition now. We are getting ready to go in now, so let's switch over to the game.
Now it's exciting to see. Yesterday we had Heal Us, now Kuji and Meryl going in. We see a Dark Knight, Neri on Dark Knight.
Yeah, the first Dark Knight of the evening, and we have got double physical ranged again, which is really nice. Double Bard. We have got Deca Look, but this is actually Milk from the Light Data Center, not to confuse anyone. And he is opting in for Dragoon. Efta going to Samurai right now. Having played Dragoon in the last games, it will be interesting to see if his gameplay changes up. His Dragoon was playing very far in, and not making too much use of Talons, so it might be a good option to actually switch to Samurai if you're going to stick to that kind of playstyle.
Yeah, if you're used to going face to face with the enemy and then suddenly go Dragoon where you just say hello from the distance, it's quite a change. Now we see him going arm's length instead of feint, so a more defensive option here, because I think they expect there will be a lot of pressure coming from the red team.
That burst going out on Efta, but Efta managing to really catch it with a very swift arm's length. So trying to get that cannon burst onto Deca, but neither Deca or Kuji pop in any kind of defensive, which is putting them in a really good position right now.
Kind of soft burst on Deca right now. Well, they will be waiting for an opportunity to punish, getting maybe Sarah to get out, like you see.
Yeah, trying to get that cannon burst now onto Meryl. Meryl getting really low, but Kuji really able to heal through that without using Protect, but having to use that sleep on Kim, but not really getting any kind of reward out of it, as Sarah doesn't drop too low.
It's a really back and forth. Which range is going to be out of position in first?
Yeah, and Sarah getting caught, unfortunately, a little bit too far in there, as Pure Luck manages to bait them further and further into their base to just really get that hard swap out onto Sarah and catch them off guard, especially with no Protect on available to use.
It's really hard as a healer to be always on the guard. When is the next burst going to happen? And you don't expect it right now because a lot of it is already out, but your range suddenly get swapped to and dies out of nowhere because maybe the pot usage wasn't right or something.
Yeah, they were trying to get a solid burst down on Ice-T there, trying to take advantage of the fact that Protect, Reprisal and Rampart were both down, but unfortunately they didn't manage to pull it off. And now all of those cooldowns are back up, putting Skinny Legends in a good position to try and push and get a kill as they try and get that off onto Meryl, I believe, but falling back now.
Meryl plays quite defensively and position is not too far in front, so I think she's quite safe, and Kuji feeling comfortable with nearly full mana.
Yeah, although Neri getting really low, having to use their Rampart there, getting really low. Kuji having to Cure 2 spam a little bit here, but Reprisal is back up and the enemy team has fallen back, realizing that Neri probably isn't going to die right now, but they're keeping on bursting, it's looking like.
I like that they're putting pressure on the Dark Knight because Dark Knights are quite squishy, and especially without Rampart and Reprisal.
They just gave the Skinny Legends a taste of their own medicine there with a double LB. Not as synced, but still that ranged LB, just finishing them off, finishing Sarah off as Sarah goes down, unfortunately.
Kimtai must be so sad seeing Cooling coming and then that double LB knowing the kill is gone. I think if it goes that far, you just stop healing in that moment.
Yeah, there's a point where you've got to realize that nothing you do will make someone survive, and you've just got to try and save your resources. Now that Sarah has got only 25 medals though, it does mean that they're probably not going to be as much of a target, which hopefully means that Skinny Legends can try and keep that pressure up. But they are getting really burst hard right now from Pure Luck. Pure Luck staying in, really keeping up that pressure as they're just pushing Skinny Legends back into their base.
I would really love to see them to bait out Pure Luck's defensive, the tank LB and the
Oh!
reprisal and stuff. Oh, I didn't expect Kushi to die that or that is
Oh my
amazing.
gosh, these double LBs are just mwah, chef's kisses from Efta and Sarah on the other team. Meryl
Honestly,
going down as well. This
that's
is
so
a
good right
comeback.
now. The only thing they only have to do now is tunnel Neri and get that last secure win, because in the last 2 minutes, your healer will be comfortable healing, even though there's no pressure on the range and the enemy melee, in my opinion at least.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that, but I'm just loving these double LBs coming out of nowhere. Just completely destroying players right now. Meryl getting a bit of a burst, going down pretty low, but that Protect going out. I don't think the Protect was necessarily needed, which is potentially going to put Kuji in a rough spot if they keep going on to Meryl. But Neri has got that reprisal on standby with a Rampart.
Oh, I'm getting so excited because maybe that's the potential first upset we get here. A team like Pure Luck is well versed into the game and they know each other well and played a lot of scrims together. And if the Claws wins here, it will be so enjoyable.
Oh, Kim getting caught off guard. They're managing to survive, but I don't think it's going to be enough. They're getting really low, having to use that healer LB, and they're trying to get that counterburst on Meryl. Really nicely survived there by Kim. Really well played.
Yeah, definitely. With 30 seconds left and lots of resources still there, I think this is really comfortable.
Although, if they can get one kill, they do steal that game, and it seems like they're sticking to Kim. That tank LB, in my opinion, would be really well used right now, because Kim is desperate for that Protect to come back off cooldown. That LB going out, Kim going low with a double LB, managing to survive that. Tank LB managing to save them as they use Protect. That was amazingly healed.
That was really well content. I loved that Ice-T put on their tank LB right on time.
That was amazingly healed. I'm so like proud. That was insane.
Imagine getting praised by Lolo. I wish you would be proud of me like that.
I think it's
but I'm also proud.
I think it's more the fact that when you look at something happening and know that if that was me, I would have died. Like
yeah,
that
because the stun went out, some more CC in cool. Right on the healer, everything. It's scary. Like, you know, they're coming. The enemy tank is walking up right towards you. You know, shit, they are going for me.
That was so good. That was so good. A really nice steal there from Skinny Legends. But we are seeing Meryl now change potentially over to Dancer, which will be our first Dancer of the competition, which is really exciting to see. Personally, I think Dancer is the least played job right now in the current Feast meta.
But it's so slippery. It just dances away. You go, it dances away to the corridor. It can put the whole enemy team into a bad spot with a good kiting, but it's a double-edged sword because sometimes you want to go in for that short range, and if you don't know the bursts are gone or are not sure that it's safe enough to go out, you might die really easy.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see how Meryl is going to be playing Dancer throughout the entirety of this game. It's going to be an interesting one to watch. Dancer is very fragile, but against a Bard, it's not as worrisome as when you're against a Black Mage. They're going in now, those...
the Dark Knight Shield. You have the Dark Knight Shield. It can save the life.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're getting that burst onto Sarah. Sarah getting caught off guard on the stairs right now, but managing to retreat. Kim managing to hold on to their Protect. A really nicely played reprisal there as well. Not overlapping any cooldowns, which is really useful.
Sarah is playing much more defensively. They know that they are going to get on the range and try to get the first kill on the range, as usual. So it's good to see kiting back and trying to avoid getting bursted. Helping out the healer preserve a lot of resources.
Yeah, that protect going out on Sarah, but they waited for it to fall off to get that burst on. Sarah's falling under that pressure, trying to kite them back into the middle, because we all know that the corridor is just a death sentence waiting to happen.
Oh, they're LOSing.
Yeah, that was
that
was unfortunate to see. Unfortunately, just running too far away from their healer there, but it happens, and like I said, a range dying at the beginning of the game, honestly, is not anything to worry about. It's part of the physical range job description.
Definitely. But as a healer, you say, if you're getting kited back in your base like that, how would you move instead?
Oh, it's a tricky one. There's not really much that you can do if your team's going to stick into the corridor. So I do think that Sarah did a good thing in trying to bait them back into the middle, but you've got to keep an eye on your healer, especially if it's a white mage and they don't have any instants available at the time to run down, which is what it looked like the case was, as Kim was very much planted into their position.
I think a better coordination in LP, a better coordination that's possible through LP makes it more that you can position properly as a healer in time when maybe the range would say, "Come, hey, I'm going to try to bait in the middle. Please stand somewhere you can heal me."
Yeah, in Light Party, there's no excuse to really LOS too badly in Light Party. But Sarah was under a lot of position. That raw destruction going out on Eftar. Eftar getting really low. 1k HP, managing to survive. Going still insanely low. There is no defensives. Ice-T trying to save it with a reprisal. Eftar trying to stay alive. No, it just wasn't happening. That protect.
It is a Dark Knight kill.
Oh.
It is a Dark Knight kill.
Yeah, that protect unfortunately coming off of cooldown just a split second too late.
Dark Knight is too good.
Yeah, to be honest, we haven't seen any Dark Knights in the Coliseum of Chaos so far, so it's interesting to see, especially when Warrior and Gunbreaker are pretty dominant right now across all data centers that I'm looking at.
Now the wolves are going over to Kim. Feels really good for Kim now, but the pressure of trying to kill Neri.
Yeah, there was no double LB, unfortunately. The melee LB wasn't ready, and I'm just disappointed now. I've been so spoiled with double LB kills that I am expecting nothing less from both of these teams.
Yeah, we've seen them a lot today, right? Now,
they're the best kind of kill.
So 2 minutes left, we have tank LB up, healer LB up for the red team. Now they have to try really hard to kill the Dark Knight for now.
Yeah, it looks like this game is going more towards pure luck, which is going to make it a 1-1 situation. But there is still 2 minutes left for Skinny Legends to try and recover, and I think that they can definitely do this.
Yeah, with cooling time now, we can truly expect a kill coming up soon. And unfortunately, it is on Sarah.
Yeah, unfortunately, as soon as that Cullen hit, they switched onto Sarah, catching them off guard right there in a pretty open space, which was unfortunate. Kim going down as well. It looks like this game is going directly to pure luck with only a minute and a half left, to be honest.
It's so sad. Like, I think mentally they may be already into the next game, because I've seen so many additionals still not used, and you see the steamrolling happen.
Yeah, pure luck managing to really just keep up that pressure and overwhelm them there at the end, making this a 1-1 situation. Very interesting.
1-1 situation, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, the first 1-1, so it's good to see some really evenly matched teams, and it was really nicely played from Skinny Legends throughout the beginning of that game, but unfortunately they did just fall short at the last hurdle there, and once you've fallen short like that, it's really hard to recover.
Definitely. Especially if your range is down, you will be having a hard time trying to come back.
We're seeing
times like cooling you could use.
Yeah, definitely. That's the thing that we're seeing is they just fell under that pressure, and they just couldn't find that opportunity to stay in. They couldn't find that opportunity to get out a good counterburst, and unfortunately it turned into a sweep. But it'll be interesting to see how it goes this time, and it seems like Meryl and Dancer is able to keep up some pretty nice pressure there.
Yeah, I think in this game they should try to keep Sarah alive. If they're alive and they can get in the cold, they can easily always kill the Dark Knight and get a lot of metal out of it.
Yeah, unfortunately what I'm seeing a lot is it seems like Sarah's getting caught in the middle, and I think Skinny Legends need to really try and optimize when to go in. Sarah getting that burst again, standing on the stairs as they try and get a counter burst out on Neri. Not baiting any cooldowns though whatsoever, still holding on to that Rampart Reprisal and Protect. Asleep going out on the healer as they try and get that kill secured on Sarah, but no luck so far.
We've seen going faint out and right on the Dark Knight.
What? They just...
It was really good because they knew the enemy burst was already out and now they could go right in. It's really good.
Just caught on that wall there. They just got burst completely from 100 to 0, unable to use anything. But to be fair, they didn't really have that many medals to give, so it's not as damaging with 5 minutes left in the game as they try and get that comeback on Sarah. Sarah getting really low, again just running up the stairs, which is not a great play in my opinion. But that Protect is coming off of cooldown now, which is going to put Sarah in a nice position, I think.
Yeah, they're making really obvious that Sarah is the prime target and Kim just needs to focus. And we got the same situation. Hopefully they're not LOSing again.
Yeah, it seems like it's okay. Kim holding on to that Protect because they had their wings up, and as soon as those wings go off of cooldown, they're whacking out that Protect. Sarah getting still insanely low through that Protect though, no potions available, really relying now on that Reprisal to come off cooldown from Ice-T to hopefully save them.
Oh, Kim Tae must be mauling after using Repose on the melee and they're still getting damage. Maybe should have Repose on the range to relieve some pressure.
A nice counterburst there from Meryl.
Wow.
Really well needed. That was needed because Sarah was not going to survive another burst. There was simply nothing left to keep them up. Managing to really just snipe Meryl and catch them off guard.
So much needed. And the best thing is that New York are 2 kills ahead now. And it's only a matter of time securing that win by seeing that your range survivors, because a lot of the pressure comes from your bot right now.
Yeah, we did see that Kim had to use a lot of MP though there to try and keep Sarah alive, as they're going back onto Sarah, knowing that it's a really good MP drain to just keep going for the physical range. That Protect going out really nicely played as Sarah's trying to kite again. They really need to try and secure this Wolf's Heart though, which is looking what Sarah's trying to position himself ready for.
Yeah, I liked it. I really loved it when they're getting ready, and it may secure that win if they get it. And you can see a real upset, but there we go.
Yeah, that Wolf's Heart going to Kim, which was needed. Hopefully they can manage to get that MP back in time to try and keep Sarah alive, but they're really struggling now, a little bit behind, having to use their healer LB because they got silenced. Sarah getting caught off guard as that LB goes out, but managing to survive.
But Sarah is kiting really well, and I love it, because it keeps alive, and with the Wolf's Heart, there's not really a thing to worry.
That LB going out, another double LB going out, not as well synced though, Kuji able to heal through it, but having to use their healer LB, they're going down though, very fast. Really struggling now as the tables have turned.
Oh, there's so much pressure on the range right now with cooling. Now it's getting scary.
Yeah, unfortunately with a Culling 2 and no defensive, Sarah is going down. That was their only chance to kill there going for Kim, and it just wasn't enough, but they still hold a pretty nice lead there. Hopefully Kim can survive because they don't really have any resources to spend after that Culling 2.
Honestly, in that kind of situation, if you know it's really hard to keep up the range and you know you're ahead, and it wouldn't matter if the range died, just let them die and conserve your resources and mana for the following, because there's so little time left and you can easily secure a win like that. They spent so much time chasing after the bot that it may even a loss for Pure Luck.
Yeah, that unfortunately, because that double LB was just slightly out of sync with each other, it gave Kim enough time to heal themselves throughout it, which was really unfortunate. Kuji even.
Yeah. Now
Those
you can
adrenaline
see
kits going
the
out.
mana on Kim is really high. Kuji getting really pressured, and
yeah, that pressure
what
going
you
out,
do?
but again, that counterburst now on Efta is turning into a really spicy game here. As Efta is going down, 712 HP, there was no recovering, and this is looking like it could be a steal from Pure Luck.
That was really unfortunate because Blood Brothers are banned Protect also.
Oh,
Really
and they're
a bummer.
falling back, they're grabbing those adrenaline kits, and they're just going to play defensively now. That was really unfortunate to see. It looked as if Skinny Legends were playing far too defensively, which we've seen quite a lot tonight, where the winning team just plays too far back with a minute and a half left. With a minute and a half left, you need to keep that pressure up, because otherwise your healer and your tank are going to really struggle to keep anyone alive.
Yeah, now with the tank LB and any cooldowns up pop,
that final burst going out on Meryl, if they
do
do that, they can get that win, but with 5 seconds left, I don't think it's going to happen. Meryl just doing a Mario Kart now. Tra-la-la-la-la-ing around the base as they snatch their second win.
Whoa, what a game! What a game!
And really nice damage done. Deca Milk, JDS from Light Data Center, is named Deca here, and he has just nearly hit 350k damage dealt, which is pretty nice.
That's the fun as a Dragoon if you are fighting against a defensively team that's hugging a lot in the corridor, and you spam that Star Diver down, that Garrus Goggle, anything AoE, it just feels so right, and then it shows that that you can pet a lot as a Dragoon, get a high damage output, just like that.
Yeah, if Pure Luck can win this next game, it means that they are the victors. However, Skinny Legends do have a chance to win the next game and get a draw. Both of these games have just been really exciting to watch, and there's been so many just last-minute steals.
Yeah, I love that we have the rules that you can still get points as the draw, because at this point people won't give up and still really try to get at least some of that point.
Yeah, definitely, and they still have a chance to win, but all of these games have been so exciting to watch. Double LBs everywhere. Meryl now bringing out the big guns though and going for that Black Mage, and it's going to probably be a very interesting dynamic switch for Skinny Legends to play against, because that Feint and Dart Burst is going to be really deadly, and they need to keep up that pressure to try and break through that Addle.
Definitely. So now, what are your bets on who will win? Are we going to have a draw? And if you lose, what would you do?
Ooh, my bets on who I think are going to win. Black Mage and White Mage is just a really strong combination. And we have seen, unfortunately, that Skinny Legends does fall under pressure quite a lot. And that's their downfall. So they need to try and just keep up that pressure, which is what they're doing really successfully now. Trying to make sure that Meryl has to kite and just can't stand there and free cast. Meryl going down really low, going down to 2k HP, 1k HP, getting insanely low, managing to survive as they get that counter burst out, trying to catch Sarah in the middle. But Sarah's doing a good job of trying to LOS.
I think Black Mage is kind of even worse than Dancer, because if your team has a good positioning, especially your healer, you are just porting all over the map. And
yeah. Meryl going down, getting that pressure out. Really nicely played there. Sarah pushing in, but managing to stay alive. And not too much MP having to be used from Kim.
No. It will be still pressure on Sarah as usual. And I think getting a kill after killing Meryl on Deca would be really easy to secure a win, and I think also trying to get pressure on Neri to keep the Dark Knight in check always gives you the win condition to turn around the game anytime.
Yeah, Skinny Legends in a fairly good position actually, because they managed to survive that previous faint dart burst without having to use Protect, which means that they've been able to use Protect now on this little mini burst, but they've really got to keep up that pressure, because once again we're seeing them fall under that nasty corridor situation where there's nowhere to go. Sarah is pushing back in though. They're trying to keep that pressure up once again on Meryl, but Meryl getting out that dart burst on Sarah. Sarah getting insanely low. Really nicely healed once more from Kim, but they are running out of that MP very quickly.
Yeah, they've been spamming Q so much, Q2, and with the fight in the corridor and the massive amounts of AoE coming off from Black Mage and Dragoon, it's not fun.
Oh, it's definitely not fun, especially when you don't have Adel on your team yourself. It means that you really do rely on a good Temperance sync. Meryl going down straight away, not able to get out that Adel in time, and Kuji not able to use that Protect, instead opting to use it on themselves, very curiously right there.
It was a really good call, honestly, because Colin was coming up right away, and Meryl was in the middle without the chance to port. That was really good countdown.
Yeah, and now with that Adel and that Protect off cooldown, it's given Skinny Legends an opportunity to go in, but it seems like that they're going to go for the Wolf's Heart instead. Kuji managing to get that though, which could really put Kim in a bad position.
Yeah, they really wanted that Wolf's Heart now to secure an easy win, because it will be hard keeping up with
No!
the pressure.
That LB going out but not actually hitting successfully. Ice-T managing to survive. That LB going out and a counterburst, another double synced LB!
Oh, Lolo, I think we are going to see a draw. I feel it. I kind of feel it in my heart. I'm not sure yet, but
Skinny Legends are dominating the first half of this game, really keeping up that pressure now on Neri. Neri having to use that Rampart. They are doing amazingly, and this might be our first draw of the competition.
Indeed. Now, it will be hard killing the Dragoon right now and the Gunbreaker, but I think they will be going on Kim getting a well-stunned target and then follow up on another kill. But they're still targeting Sarah.
Still going for Sarah, and Kim having to use that Protect, and with 2 minutes left, again they're playing in the base, and this is what's punished them in the previous few games. Falling back into the base too soon is just really deadly and can really waste a lot of your cooldowns.
They're kiting outwards though, so that's a good change. But Kim is really low mana. They have to watch out. Now with the boxes, depending on who gets them, it can be an easy LB and...
Oh, Kim getting stunned. They're getting too low. They don't have time, unfortunately, to cast a Cure 2. This could be the countdown. Sarah has got to try and run out of there, but it seems like they're going for Eftar instead. Eftar getting that Dart Burst. A good arm's length there, and he's trying to use his pots. Really nicely timed Bloodbath, but will it be enough to survive?
It's not bad, because honestly, if you are low on mana and die like that, and your team manages to survive and not get under pressure, you are well to heal the last minute.
We've got a minute left. Unfortunately, they are falling under that pressure now as Eftar is trying to kite around in the center of the base. They need to try and get that counter burst out, and it looks like they're trying to keep that pressure on Meryl. Eftar getting really low. That dart burst going out on 3k HP. That Cure 2 was not going to get there in time. It looks like this, unfortunately, has been such a massive turn of the tables, and Pure Luck are retreating back to another victory.
It is so sad. As you said, the problem with playing like that, you don't have any wards to use, you can't LOS that dart and such, and it's an easy kill to turn around. But, well, it's what it is.
That was unfortunate. That was really unfortunate. Again, Skinny Legends just falling into that nasty position of being in the lead, but then just losing all of your pressure as you play defensively too soon. You have to keep that pressure up throughout the entire game and only play defensively when you've got around 30 seconds left. If you fall back when you've got 2 minutes left, you're just going to end up being a punching bag. But as we can see, unfortunately, that game goes to Pure Luck.
Now, did you expect that Pure Luck to lose and get drawn? If so, you lost the bet.
I'm not gonna lie, I definitely thought that Skinny Legends were gonna snatch that. having such a strong lead, and then unfortunately just falling under that pressure at the end there, and just getting kill after kill after kill. And again, just falling under that pressure of sticking into your base far too soon. But good job to Pure Luck as they do get this win. And nicely played from Skinny Legends period. Probably the most exciting games that we have had so far. For our next match, we have Pippo's Hunters versus the Newbie Hunters. Two sets of Hunters. Gonna be a interesting game to watch. An interesting one to try and see what's going to be happening. And as we try and collect those teams, let's have a little look to see just who is in Pippo's Hunters. And that was Pippo's Hunters, a team of relatively new players, but it's going to be a nice matchup because going against them, we have the Newbie Hunters themselves. Yeah, I feel like whoever put those teams against each other knew exactly what they were doing, especially with a team named the Newbie Hunters. But as always, it's so good to see new players joining in on the feast. And we saw that yesterday as well. And in the past 2 seasons especially, there's been a lot of interest in Feast. And there's been a lot of newer players entering the fray, which is just fantastic. However, while we wait for those people to join, we are going to quickly go to a break. Grab yourself a drink, grab yourself a beer, and we will see you very, very soon. Ciao. Welcome back! It wasn't the full 15-minute countdown, but that's because, as Barney eloquently put yesterday, we don't know what happens when the countdown hits 0, and we don't want to find out. So we are getting ready now for the next game. Both teams are ready. We have Pippo's Hunters versus the Newbies.
Sorry for those still stuck on the in the bathroom, but it's just the way the life goes. Always unexpectedly. And next match, I hope it will be unexpectedly like the last one.
It would. I'm hoping for that. It's really nice to see a lot of newer players definitely putting themselves into such a challenging situation, because Light Party is nothing like solo queue. You know, I've been playing Feast since about Season 2, but Season 5 competitively, and I struggle, with Light Party. But we are going now into our match, and I am eager to see how this goes. As you can see, the Newbie Hunters does have a lot of familiar faces.
So maybe you know them from the solo queue experience and could elaborate a little bit further.
Yeah, we've got some pretty good teams here. A lot of people will recognize most of these players from actually the Light data center. So we have some Light players coming over versus the Newbies, and we are actually seeing, I've just noticed here, the first scholar of the tournament, which is upsetting because I was going to be the first scholar potentially, but now I guess I can't play Scholar because the glory's, gone. I'm just going to have to be White Mage whenever I play. But no, this is a hard job to play, especially if you're not so experienced, but I'm wishing them the best of luck with it. Meanwhile, they have got Dart and Dia on the other side, so it's going to be a pretty solid burst.
Now you will be crying because the underdog didn't win. Now you cry because you weren't the first scholar.
Oh, I totally was going to play Scholar in my team, but now, no, JK, I don't think I would ever play Scholar in Light Party right now. But it would be interesting to see Laurelie going down straight away. Unfortunately, Lucy not building up enough resources to pop their Dissipation, as Gina is getting burst pretty hard there, but managing to stay alive. That protects going out, however, onto themselves, as they do pop that Adlo onto Gina there. Scholar is a tricky one.
Good.
Yeah, Scholar is a very tricky one, especially for that first burst of a game. It's especially tricky if you go against something such as a Trick Attack Ninja, or a player that, when a player has to hide and your entire team falls back, it's really punishing for something like a Scholar, because a Scholar has to go in there, it has to use Broil, it has to build up that Fairy Gauge, and unfortunately, we're seeing the Newbies going down quite hard there, with Pippo's team getting 600'd by the Newbie Hunters. Unfortunately, no broils being used there, which is the main selling point of a Scholar.
So sad we're going to see another 600, but it's really hard to get the Steam engine going as a Scholar. Like, you have 0 gauge, nothing really to have the backup to secure after a big burst, and the steamroll is just getting faster if you're not used to that. So now maybe we see a switch to White Mage, or maybe we see still a Scholar, and this time it will be a longer match.
We'll see how it goes, but good play to them. Like I said, it's really nice to just see newer players play in general, and unfortunately Pippo's Hunters does have a lot of familiar faces and some really experienced players. Scholar is not a great one to go with. I've played Scholar quite a lot this season, if anyone's been watching my streams, and I've been having a lot of success with it, but it's insanely difficult to play. It definitely relies a lot on your team keeping up that pressure. The minute that you have to resort to using physics and adlos, it's kind of over. You need your team to keep up that pressure so you can continuously broil, continuously dissipate, and continuously lustrate.
With a Martianist, it's even harder if you don't have the mobility to kite around and your healer has to straight up heal everything. That's really tough.
It's a tough one to do, but it would be interesting to see more scholars potentially play in this tournament. And Astros as well. Now, the teams are going in. That Adlo going out, Lucy getting stunned, that Dart Burst going out, unfortunately too fast for them to use anything. Again, not building up enough resources, but they are getting these really low. Getting a counter burst there instantly. I wasn't expecting
Jinxie
that.
was casting glare. He didn't expect me to die at all. Jinxie
See,
was like, oh, okay, I don't
That's
care.
the problem when you get overconfident. That's the problem when you get overconfident. You know, in Feast, things can switch instantly. And that's a quite nice swap there, getting a kill on the melee.
Maybe people don't know, but Jinxie learned that technique by a master healer called Specs, by casting the glare.
I mean, if you
anytime
don't glare
match.
continuously, are you playing White Mage?
That's a good question, right? That's why Specs is the best healer.
I
So
think
right now we're seeing the pressure going on more on the blue team, and they're holding up against the 600 right
yeah, me is getting really low there. Unfortunately, this would be a great time to build up some broils from the enemy team, but a nice X-Cog going out there. Lorelie unfortunately fall into that follow-up Dart Burst. That X-Cog being slightly too early, but me is getting really low. I think Jinxie is just having a great time glaring, to be honest.
Is it a great time glaring? Do you have fun if you just glare? Oh, Misa is getting really low. Maybe the glare was a bit too much. I hope the cure is enough.
Jinxie just does not give a damn. Jinxie's like, I do not care. I am glaring. I am getting the highest healer damage that I can. We've all been there. We've all been there. There's been so many times when I've been playing as a White Mage, and I just get so glare happy that I don't even pay attention.
Yeah, you just like fall in the trance of glaring.
You really do. You're paying so much attention to the enemy team and glaring them, and okay, they've LOS'd me, I've got to move, that you don't even pay attention to your own health. And then you look at yourself and you're like, okay, I'm on 2k HP. Crap.
Yeah. But you have bots, right? So just tell your team, just use bots, I can glare. It's no problem. But if you glare like that, maybe you can switch up and play Scholar instead. That would be insane, isn't it?
Oof.
That's
Yeah.
tough to watch.
Yeah, this is unfortunate to see, but a really nice. They've managed to keep up the fight for a lot longer this time against the enemy team. The newbie hunters, however, taking that with another 600. Very fast game.
Carefully chosen.
Yeah. Yeah, whoever paired these teams together in the organization team definitely knew what they were doing.
You see the zero healing on Sinatra? That's some comfortable range. Imagine going into a match and knowing you won't be the target. There is no Zac or whoever that tunnels you all game long. You just stand there and do your summoner stuff.
Yeah, and it's Summoner's an interesting one as well. It's probably compared alongside Dancer and Scholar, I'd say it's amongst the three least played jobs, at least on EU. And I think it's just because it really does get outshined by Black Mage, and Red Mage has such strong utility that Red Mage can really help carry a game. Summoner is something that requires a lot of skill to play successfully, but it's very risky depending on what kind of team you go up against.
It's so interesting because they buffed the Scholar so often, and it's still not the meta. Like, White Mage is still so strong.
Yeah, White Mage is insanely strong, but Scholar did have its moment a few seasons ago. But unfortunately, White Mage has been the dominant healer for the past few seasons right now. But like I said, I think Astrologian definitely holds its all in a really well-synced light party situation.
But do you still think Scholar is still a Scholar after the removal of the fairy?
Oh, it's upsetting to see. You know, I do love Eos. Eos is 10 times better than Selene. Fight me. Fight me. I am Team Eos.
Team Eos. I agree. I don't want to fight you. I just agree.
You know, yeah, no, it is Eos. Selene is not the one. If you use Selene, you know, all respect lost. Gina unfortunately going down there. Unfortunately, Lucy not really making full advantage of Broil. I don't think they're really aware of how useful that is. Trying to get that dissipation on themselves as they adload themselves, holding on to that protect. A nice X-Cog going out there under dissipation though, which is really useful.
Dissipation can be so strong. Sometimes it's like people think of a combination using it with Lacres. You just can spam Cure and stuff. But what's your opinion on using Lacres with Scholar?
Personally, I think Protect is more useful now. Lagresse definitely had its moment, and Lagresse is definitely the most optimal on Scholar compared to White Mage or Astrologian. But I think just because of how much pressure is going out right now, you don't always have the time to broil. You don't always have the time to build up those resources. So Protect really does help you in those situations, a lot more necessarily than Lagresse. Unfortunately, this is a third 600 sweep, and the newbie hunters do get the win for this match.
Yeah, I should have gotten Lacres.
But good job to them, and it's really nice, like I said, to just see new players in general play, and they did get a kill against a really, really experienced team.
That is true. A lot of respect and props to them. It can only go better from there. Like,
yeah, for sure.
If you don't get demotivated and face again these teams and try to work on it, you improve much faster.
Yeah, that's the main thing as well. Like, Light Party is a different beast. It is a completely different beast compared to solo queue. And like, I've been playing solo queue since around season 2, but season 5 mainly was when I got into it, and I suck at Light Party. I am like the worst Light Party healer that you can get, just because the bursts are so well coordinated that one mistake means it's over.
Yeah, it happens really fast. The coordination is just too good that the steamroll always happens really
yeah,
fast.
But they did have a good run. The newbie hunters actually losing a member of their team. I think they got too overly confident when their melee died. So really nicely played there from Pippo's side, and I hope that we can see them soon in solo queue.
Definitely, I love the counter thing, and then unexpectedly getting a counter kill. A nice trade.
Yeah, it was a nice trade. Nice game. But now, let's see what we have next in store. So now we are seeing Pippo's Hunters once again versus another team that is relatively newly formed, the Lads. A team very similar in regards to kind of pure luck, where they've got very experienced players, but they've not been playing together as a team for very long. And in team play, in Light Party, it's very essential that you really get that team communication nailed.
It just demands a little bit of practice, some scrims, and a strong voice. It's a bit like a static, right? Where a good lead, some good opinions can work wonders.
Yeah, definitely. And I just feel like if I was coming out of that game on Pippo's Hunters, I'd definitely get away from Scholar and stick to White Mage, or even Astrologian. I think Astrologian is a very newbie-friendly kind of healer in general. White Mage's main potential is in its damage. So if you're not glaring and not getting out those Dias, there's no point playing White Mage. Whereas Astrologian is very heal-focused. So if you're new to the feast, Astrologian is probably one that's a little bit easier to get to grips in your head. Although White Mage does have a pretty basic kit, which is also very simple to get used to.
Yeah, don't get discouraged by the cards and all the fancy stuff and long tooltips Astrologian offers. If you just try it a bit out, maybe go frontlines, even just go to the striking dummy, you will notice it's really simple.
Yeah, or even go into things like rival wings. Not because we're sponsored by them, cough cough, but it's useful to practice definitely in front lines, and it's how I kind of get to grips with learning other jobs as well, because when you're playing roles, especially healer or tank, and even range to an extent because you're so fragile in the current meta, it's important to go into matches and understand how to play other jobs, so you know what their burst is, you know what their burst looks like, and you know how to prepare for it. One of the things that I recommend for new players especially is just go to a training dummy and look at the main things, you know, Feint, Phantom Dart, Trick Attack, those kind of things that you need to know what they look like, because otherwise you're not going to be a successful healer.
Not even healer, but for any role really I can only recommend reading all the job guides and take a look what everyone is able to do. So you are prepared, and later on, if you get used to the stressful situation, it's just easier than to get a grip what is happening and what kind of cooldowns to track, and then go in when it's really good to go in, counterburst the enemy team.
So it looks like both teams are ready, so let's have a little look once again at who is going to be playing. First up, please welcome Peepos Hunters once again. And that was a team full of newer players, which we have just seen play. And next, please welcome a new team to the fray. Welcome the lads. Lads, 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 lads. Cheeky Nando's with the lads. That is the lads right there. Unfortunately, Dane is a little bit unwell and won't be playing today, so we are hoping that Dane gets well soon. Dane is responsible for the majority of these fantastic graphics and overlays that you are seeing today, so send in lots of love to him as we queue up into this game.
Same. Unfortunately, we experience a DC right now, and we might have a slight delay, so please be patient until the players are returned to the game.
Oh, a DC, likely story, likely. It was a rage quit, I bet.
Always rage quitting. Damn, why do these sweats always tremble on us newbies? We just want to play this game, and everyone is flaming and farming us for points.
See, the thing is, like, I'm quite lucky because I don't DC a lot. I don't DC too much, but what I tend to do a lot is when I'm panicking and I'm like fat fingering around, I will alt tab, and then I'll come back and everyone in my team will be dead. Like, it happens so often, but I don't DC too much. If I did, my name would be Alex Ryder.
Oh, that is so true. For those who don't know the insider, Alex Ryder has some kind of connective activity issues just because he lives on Mars, on the planet Mars, and gets DC'd very, very often. Nice guy, love him. Yeah.
Poor Alex, poor Alex.
Poor Alex. But
yeah.
we get the people returned right now, and we should be ready to go in.
Nice. But yeah, DCs are always an unfortunate situation in the Feast, and it does happen, it does happen. But hopefully that will be the only DC that we have tonight, as we are queuing into the game and getting ready for our next match.
Yeah.
Here we see the teams. You will probably recognize this individual here. This was Barney, who was hosting last night alongside Levine and Laurie as well. You popped in for a little while. Barney is a fantastic streamer as well, so please do make sure to support him. We also have Dodo, who is an experienced healer, and Evray and Geller, which is quite a nice combination. We're seeing here a Monk-Bard combination, which isn't something that we've seen today.
Oh yeah, again, an unusual kind of comp.
Yeah, it's a hard one, but then Monk really does keep up all of that pressure throughout, which is really nice to see. And Monk has really good survivability when you compare it to something like, say, a Ninja.
And it's even spookier because you see the big flower, someone pops, just explode.
Oh yeah. It's the worst thing to see, especially when you're CC'd. Or you're being greedy with glares like I am.
And they are going into the fray.
Yeah, seeing the same team on the other side there with the Warrior Scholar Monk Machinist combination. But they are getting some good damage out there on Geller. Geller going down pretty low, but unfortunately getting that counterburst out onto Gina.
But where they managed to push up and trying to get a kill, they're not giving up at all. Really trying their best.
They're a relatively new team as well, like I said, the lads. Playing together, they haven't played together for that long, so it'll be interesting to see how their team coordinates in other matches tonight. And it's always nice to see teams go against teams that are also very newly formed. Because, like I said, in Light Party, that communication is essential. If you can't communicate when you're going to sleep, when you're going to gonna arm's length, gonna rampart, gonna reprisal, gonna burst. If you can't communicate any of that, unfortunately, it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, it was really, really hard. And we can see Dodo Thief, the founder of Rival Wings, has a great time glaring again, if I'm not even needing to use any potions.
Yeah, unfortunately, the lads are very experienced players in general. Although, look at Evray over here, 0 healing done. Oh, nearly through the game.
Nearly. I think Evray is new to the game and doesn't use potion yet. Maybe someone DMs him and tell him to put the potions down the hotbar.
Needs to buy them from the Mog Station, you know. From the market board. Needs to pop to the market board, get some potions. And he's got the new armor. I love... Oh! We have a DC, unfortunately.
It's a Curse of the Rider.
Oh gosh, yeah, this is unfortunate to see. Hopefully Geller will come back in time, but to be honest, this might be a pretty nice 3v4. Oh, Geller's back. To be honest, I was quite looking forward to a nice 3v4 there.
That was a bait. It was an homage to the Rider.
But by saying his name, we have summoned him, and he is DCing us all.
Oh, damn. So now, do you expect to maybe an upset, or do you think it will be really hard to come and beat this kind of team with those experienced players?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's an unfortunate situation for newer players to be in. But like I said, it's just really nice for them to put themselves into this high-pressured situation, because I struggle with Light Party. I am the worst Light Party healer there is. Geller getting really low. Geller dying instantly. Getting that swap, though, onto Laurelie as Laurelie goes down. But interesting play there.
I love it. I love to see when he was full of kills and get the still have the confidence to go in like that and play like they are not afraid to die. Because
really
a lot
nicely
of people
played.
are afraid to die and just play a bit more defensively and afraid, and don't test the limits out. With them just going in like that, I think they have a good future ahead.
Yeah, for sure. They've managed to get kills against two very experienced teams in general, so it's nice to see. But unfortunately, Gina getting caught off guard there in the middle and going down.
And there's the follow-up kill. It's really difficult to keep up as a scholar there, especially if you're not used to LP healing.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Barney getting extremely low there. Barney being Uriel, going down quite a lot, getting caught off guard with his rampart, but nicely played. Unfortunately, it's not enough. Gina going down, and it's going to be another 600 and another win to the lads.
Now, we've seen Ephraim using his pots, finally, getting used to the situation.
Yeah, finally using those potions. Potions are a really good tool, just in general. Although as a healer, I do find that potions because potions exist, it's definitely nerfed the potency of heals, and it's released a lot of pressure from healers. But at the same time, it's also put a lot of responsibility onto your teammates, and if they don't use potions at the correct time, especially if you're a tank or a healer, there's not really much you can do to keep someone alive.
Yeah, it's now your responsibility as a non-healer to manage your potions correctly. Overuse them, see that there are potions available for an next burst, and relieve a lot of stress with that. The problem, or maybe what would be easier even if there would be a way to display how many potions your teammates have left. It would be so nice to see as a healer, because keeping track is nearly impossible.
Yeah, that's something that was actually brought up the other day, and I was speaking to people about the possibility of having like potion availability being listed on the hotbars, and I don't know if it would be necessarily too kind of powerful or not. Part of it is really nice to kind of have that ambiguity and not really know what tools the enemy team has, because you can take people by surprise. But yeah, ultimately it would be quite nice to see how many potions your team have, especially when you're in like a really tricky situation.
Yeah, I mean, you see Yumili has like 2 potions left, but you know your range is a prime target getting tunneled. You can be sure that will, even when there are hard swapping on your melee, I guess, then you can be sure they have a higher chance of survivability just because they have 2 potions available. You know when to focus on healing a certain person or keeping them up, because if there's a limit break and they don't have a potion and they are like half-life, that's a tough time for you. They're going to be dead.
Yeah, potions are such an important tool, and one of the things that I see a lot of good players do is they spread their potions out. It's definitely a telltale sign of newer players to kind of spam their potions as soon as they get hit. And that's not really the most tactical thing to do. Ideally, you're going to want to try and spread out your potions. Because if you use all of your potions way too soon, you're really just setting yourself up for a tricky situation.
Definitely. Do you know that game wants to handle word?
How the game wants to handle
potions, like in this game with the server delay, it exactly feels like that. You press it and
yes,
it feels like you have to open the bottle with a bottle opener first, or with a screwdriver, whatever, and then you finally are able to drink it.
Yeah, unfortunately there is a slight delay on potions, which can catch people off guard, and it can lead to some really unfortunate situations. But that was another 600 sweep there from the lads snatching their 3rd win in a row and being the victors of this match. Really nicely played there, though, from both teams, and really well done to Pippo's Hunters for just joining in and giving us some fun games and some nice entertainment there.
Yeah, I like that they were holding up and it wasn't quick and dirty job. They were really trying, and you can see they weren't giving up, even if they know that the enemy team is tough.
Yeah, it's always good to see, and I really do hope that they continue to play, and that we see them all soon in solo queue, because they definitely have potential. They got a few kills off, so it's just honing in on that practice and just seeing which jobs fit best. But really nice play to them. However, next game coming up might be a little bit more interesting to watch. We have the Newbie Hunters from the game prior to the last one, and the Lads. Gonna be more even this match, I think, in general. Gonna be an interesting one. I wouldn't really be able to put my money on who I think probably is gonna win. Ultimately, the Lads and Newbie Hunters are pretty new teams. New teams in terms of playing together, but both filled with very experienced players. The Newbie Hunters predominantly featuring players from the Light Data Center, and the Lads, a very nicely knit group. Both of them have had a game to kind of warm up and get their juices going, and I think we could potentially have some back and forth games here.
Definitely is going to be excited like the game with against Pure Luck, where you can maybe expect another upset or an unexpected match outcome.
Yeah, that game with Skinny Legends was really great, really exciting, and I'm thinking that we might have something very much along those lines with this lineup here. We're just currently getting them into the group together and trying to get the Newbie Hunters into the correct alliance, and then we will be able to go. But first off, let's have a little look and see who is in the Newbie Hunters. So we have two teams that we have seen tonight, and I think this is going to be an interesting game. Both very experienced players in both teams there, and I think this could be potentially a draw, or if not, a very, very close win.
Or even if you're unlucky, we might see another 3-0.
I would be surprised if it was another like 3-600s, but to be honest, you can never tell. Especially yesterday, which we saw in games like Pure Luck versus Aftermath. It was very back and forth, but Aftermath did manage to get 3 wins in a row, despite despite Pure Luck's best efforts. But we are ready to go into the next game, and I think this is going to be an interesting one.
Definitely, with another Bard again. Dragoon Bard is a really tough comp for a healer because of the tons of pressure and AoE coming out. But the enemy team might nuke someone with Samurai and Summoner.
Yeah,
The
Summoners...
Bard goes out and a Midare and some stuns, they are just gone.
Yes, Summoner's definitely an interesting one, and I'm going to be interested to see how Summoner fares against a team that is quite experienced now, because like I said, it's probably the most underused, it is the most underutilized caster currently in the game. It requires a lot of preparation, and it requires definitely a lot of foresight and tracking of the enemy burst. Unfortunately, however, for the lads, they are up against that deadly Dia Dark combination. But we'll see how it goes.
Do you know the origins of the land?
Of the...
It's a dark origin. Yes.
Oh.
It's a dark origin. It was when everyone else was asleep and people were drunk. So the Vlads was formed to conquer the Water Feast.
The lore of the feast. I love it. I love it.
The lore of the feast. I have seriously no idea. But we are starting,
Ooh.
and now the pressure's already on the range.
Yeah, that pressure
usual.
going out. Having to use that Mana Ward straight away, but they're trying to get that counter burst now onto the counter range, but still keeping that pressure up on the Summoner, holding on to that Adel as Protect goes out. A really nice usage there of defensives, not overlapping anything, and they still have Reprisal on Adel. Adel going out now.
I love it if you now your range is always going to be the first one, and you can get your Protect ready, like hover your mouse or your controller over it and be ready to heal. Now, Evra is getting darted, stunned, CC, everything.
Yeah, a really strong burster on Evray. Evray going down. That Protect's unfortunately a slight second too late, as the newbie hunters do get the first kill of the game.
That was a really bad spot, honestly. They couldn't really LOS enemy range without LOSing their own healer. Tough situation.
Yeah, tough situation, but unfortunately, it's still a tricky one to kind of pinpoint. You can never really tell in Light Party when that burst is going to come out. Sure, you can keep an eye out for Dart, you can keep an eye out for, you know, Dia, but as soon as that CC hits, it's already too late.
It's fast. If the coordination is good, then the sync is amazing, and someone just falls off.
Oh, that counterburst going out
go.
now on Zanatra. Zanatra going down. A really good, well-timed burst there. The lads taking advantage of the fact that there was no Protect, no Reprisal, and Adel wasn't on cooldown, unfortunately, at the time. So, yeah, really nicely played.
Yeah, it's still even though, so we will see which melee is going to die soon. And that's an unfortunate death. Really,
Yeah.
because now it's really hard to come back from that.
We saw there a really well-placed silence, which is just showing how powerful Bard can be when it's synced up with the rest of your team. That silence there completely rendering Jinxie immobile. And now Honori's going down, that Rampart going out though, really well timed. Now's their time to try and get a counter burst.
A really well-timed silence like that is really hard for a healer if you accidentally purified before and then there's another sleep coming. Surely it's stressful.
Yeah, that Dart Burst going out there, but being saved by Protect and some insta-kills. Dodo holding on to their MP very well, very efficiently throughout that entire burst. They're keeping that pressure up on Uriel, but Uriel is trying to get that counter burst now onto Zanatra, leading them their way out of the corridor, though, to try and secure that Wolf's Heart.
Going to Dodo, who's already have 1 mana, denying Jinxie the Wolf's Heart to have efficiently come back and counter that pressure, makes it really, really hard.
Oh, unfortunately, that was so tight. Uriel really did gamble there with that LB. They were on 3k HP, and LB means that you're motion locked. You can't run away, you can't LOS, you can't pop a potion or a defensive. If that didn't kill, they would have potentially died. So that kill was really just luck.
But still, it's really exciting to always see everyone getting a limit break right now. Everything can happen. Who's going to sync up more?
Oh, speaking of limit breaks, that limit break going out on the Dart Burst again on Uriel. Uriel managing to survive though, and Dodo just managing to hold on to their MP really efficiently throughout this entire match. They're nearly full.
I really feel like that LB was maybe a miscommunication because you really want to use LB after the ranged one, so you can use that debuff to kill someone more easily.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, you've got to time your LB efficiently. LBs, as we've seen tonight, can just turn the tide of the game completely. And if you just throw it away when your healer isn't ready and your tank isn't ready to stun, it's just a complete waste of one of the most powerful tools in the entire game.
Even sometimes it's smarter to hold back getting full and then using it, because it's just that powerful. Now we see that Jinxie is going really out of resources.
Yes.
But they have to put up the pressure at the last minute now.
And it paid off. That Dia there really did help try and secure that kill onto Uriel, getting him down. And this really gives Jinxie a nice opportunity to hopefully recover some MP. But they've got to keep that pressure up because they are only a few medals behind.
It's so funny to see because Uriel has a lot of chances to kite back, and with their resources on Dodo Thieves, they should have been able to keep Uriel alive. But it's unsurprisingly a good job and effort of Vizekatze to get a good swap on Uriel and kill them.
What? No way! That last 20-second kill!
Oh dear, they snatched the victory out of
They've just snatched it! They've completely snatched it! The newbie hunters just running back to a really secure victory there. That final kill on Evray, just securing it.
Yeah, I always feel so bad at seeing the last seconds someone die. Like, I was in a match where I died very last second. Like 1 second left, you lost the medals and just lose. It feels so bad. Especially if you were ahead like that.
I know. I've had so many games where it's been just lost in the last 20 seconds, and it's so unfortunate to see. That was a really well coordinated burst there, but unfortunately just not paying off. Dodo holding on to their mana there, and they really held on to it throughout the entire game, but unfortunately maybe they just needed to spend a little bit more there in those final 20 seconds. Oh my god, my heart is breaking for them.
But it still remains exciting, and I love it. It's exactly for the last match after that this is what we want to see.
Yeah,
Teams
this might just
yeah.
This might just be like the lads' revenge. Like, this might be the time for them to come back and just snatch that victory because they nearly had it. They nearly had it. It's interesting to see how well Dodo is conserving their MP throughout this entire game. Whereas Jinxie, you can see, is going a lot more offensive. They're whacking out their Dias consistently throughout the game, despite having low MP. And, well, it paid off.
So how do you usually manage your MP throughout the game?
It's a tricky one. Personally, I am dreadful at MP. I do what Jinxie does, and I just take the gamble. Get that Dia out, and hopefully get the kill. But there are times when, depending on your team, you really know that, hey, I can't Dia for the next 20 seconds because I need this MP because they have got a burst coming in. It varies game to game, and it depends on the kind of team that you're going up against and the team that you have.
Yeah, I definitely know this situation. And right now we see the pressure on the summoner again and again. Maybe the counter burst on Evray will be happening since they are moving towards, but he's using the wards quite well. And then we have the stun.
Yeah, the newbie hunters have to go in now because they've used Adel, Mana Ward, and Protect, which means that they are really open for a counter burst here. Unfortunately, that burst on Evray not doing too much as they try and get another counter burst on the Samurai. No Protect having to be used, but a good reprisal there from Inori.
Now Dodo has to move and try to get into the corridor, not LOSing the team. It's so hard if you know they are going to kite that way and you are on the other side of the map.
Yeah, this is an interesting one to see. Going into Sinatra, who is getting motion locked, managing to get that kill. Again, a real gamble there, because if they did not manage to get that kill onto Evray, Sinatra would have gone down.
I haven't seen if that was used, because it doesn't look like it was a real burst. Or am I mistaken?
I don't think I saw it either. It looked very much like Evray and Dodo got caught completely off guard right now. Dodo definitely using a lot more MP than last time, which is showing that the newbie hunters are just keeping up that pressure, feeling that self-confidence as they're going in and securing some pretty clutch kills.
Yeah, they have to put up some more effort, or else they're going to get hunted by the newbie hunters.
300 HP there. Barney managing to survive. Dodo holding on to that protect. No arm's length or any defensive was used. Managing to survive purely on potions as they try and get that counterburst down onto Sinatra. Sinatra holding on to that Addle. A good protect though from Jinxie, securing that safe T.
That protect was so good, so the follow-up burst couldn't finish off Sinatra, and now they can counterburst back to FI, and a lot of resources are spent on Jinxie's side.
Yeah, definitely a lot of resources, which is opening them up to a counterburst that's going out now. That Mana Ward being really well timed, but they're going for that LB. Sinatra can't commit though because they're on 400 HP. Not enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was really hard to keep up with the healing, I guess, because if you see they died to only the tank and the melee, and that always feels so bad when you know, oh, I didn't keep up with my healing.
Yeah, unfortunately Sinatra just couldn't commit there. They could not go in because they had no HP, so that LB was a little bit mistimed. A classic situation of just miscommunication amongst the team and getting caught off guard.
Yes, now with the Wolf's Heart and Limit Breaks up, we will see another big burst coming up. Maybe we'll see a double LB again. Going to the Dodo Thieves, Jinxie would have loved to get that Wolf's Heart.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, Jinxie has definitely likes using their Dias. As we can see here, that LB going out, a double LB, not really doing as much damage as we've seen previously though. But it is opening up the Samurai to some extra damage that Jinxie doesn't really have the resources left to heal.
I think that was a greedy LB, but it helps out a lot to just get the momentum up, so they won't get to the cooling and keep up very well. I think you don't want to get into cooling at this kind of situation to get into the risk of getting the tide turns against you.
Yeah, definitely. And that tank LB having to be used there, which is unfortunate. With 2 minutes left, that is a tank LB that would have probably been better spent somewhere else. But thankfully getting another counterburst on Sinatra. Sinatra going down to 25 medals, which is giving the lads definitely a little bit more confidence in their final minute and a half.
They have the big edge now. Now it will be real difficult. They focus on...
Oh, yeah, unfortunately the newbie hunters are falling under the pressure. Unfortunately the lads are not newbie-ish enough for them to hunt.
Yeah, I can agree with that. The lads, I think they're sobering up right now and get a good lead. Falling back, going defensively, it's the right choice, and trying to secure the win now with just Mario karting all over the map. They're trying to focus on the tank, and suddenly a turnaround. Oh my god!
The tank going down, just instantly getting caught off guard there on the stairs. I don't think Dodo being really prepared for that. The protect going out, but it wasn't enough to get. Unfortunately, however, they are still in the lead, which means that the newbie hunters need to keep up that pressure, but that's definitely probably shooken their confidence.
Yeah, dying with Rampart on the stairs like that, falling back, feels bad, and now anything can happen and they can still lose. Even just going for the range may go to a draw and increase the chances to win.
Yeah, really well played, Adel. Again, that LB going out at a time that Sinatra simply can't commit, but he manages to get the kill.
That is so huge. Now they just need to fall back, and
with 20 seconds
it's
left,
not enough time.
Yeah, there's no way.
Oh damn.
Oh my gosh, that's so unfortunate. The newbie hunters hunting again for their second victory in a row.
They have managed to make the lads look like newbies. It's so unfortunate, but well done. Really well done by them.
Oh, I hate seeing these last minute steals, but also at the same time I love them. It's like when you watch a car crash. You can't help but look, but you know how much it hurt. Because that was such a steal.
You can see on the image chart that they could put out a lot of pressure, and Jinxie even did a lot of damage, and really well done.
Yeah, and that extra damage really does go the long way. Like we said, Jinxie definitely likes to utilize Dias throughout, whereas Dodo is a bit more conservative with when they Dia, favoring more MP retention. But yeah, it's seeming as if, unfortunately, the lads need to keep up that pressure for the last, minute of the game. And this is something that I'm seeing a lot tonight, is the victorious teams are just falling back too soon.
Yeah, putting yourself openly like that while falling back can always risk of an upset like that. Now we are 2-0 for the newbie hunters, and it is only possible for the lads to get some points if they manage to draw out this game. Now if the newbie hunters win this one, they will snatch full points and will be happily going into next week with a huge lead.
Yeah, definitely. They've had a really good night tonight in general, the newbie hunters. The lads still have a chance to draw, however, and they can definitely do it. Both of these games, they've been putting up such a good fight, but just falling at the final hurdle, which is just painful to see. But hopefully we can get a draw in here. But it is looking like it might just need some kind of refinement. Barney's switching over now to Black Mage, with Evray switching to Dragoon, which is really interesting.
They're getting serious now. We know Evray is a melee main usually, and with that, I think they really want to win this one.
Yeah, it seems like they've realized that they need to keep up that pressure, and unfortunately that's what was happening in the last few games, is they were just falling under way too much pressure and running out of resources. Hopefully now, with a Dragoon and a Black Mage, they can kind of stay very far back and keep up a really optimal amount of damage. Meanwhile, the Summoner kind of has to go in a lot more. This will be interesting to see how Sinatra plays.
How about you protect over your range? Oh no! Oriel is really getting low. The protect is still holding back. I think the pot usage wasn't really optimal maybe there, because with an expert, Oriel might even die.
Yeah, both Addles going out now, which means that they do rely on the rest of their team to try and keep them alive. Jinxie's Protect has gone out, and that Arm's Length is going out now on Mise. Mise managing to survive, but it means that that team just has a real lack of defense as they switch to Sinatra. Nice. Yeah.
The Protect, you know when you protect too late and it goes on yourself instead, and then you say, shit, I've wasted it.
Yep, I know that feeling way too well. Yeah, that wasted Protect there, because it was just a second too late, which is unfortunate to see. But there is still time to get this back. Sinatra going down really low, really nicely timed Addle there though, and also a good use of Tetras from Jinxie.
Jinx is definitely in a good spot right now, getting into it and focusing on their range, so they can't dish out the damage. Look, they just stand there and not trying to kite.
Yeah, Sinatra falling back, which is a smart move. There's no defensives that can help survive this. But they have got to try and keep pushing. And it seems like they're trying to keep that pressure up on Uriel, so we can't just hardcast throughout this entire game. But Sinatra going down as soon as they come back into the middle.
It was really well timed, not anticipating that guard and going out the wall, trying to get following the cooldown. Just cost the life, but now we are equal back, both range died. Now we are to ground 0, and burst will be coming on one of either melees.
Yeah, it's seeming like they're keeping up that pressure now on Mise, trying to get a little counterburst out onto Uriel, which I would keep an eye out for. A really nice night win there, but that LB is going out. It doesn't look like it's going to be anywhere near enough though.
That was really weird. They had Protect and they stopped the burst because of the Protect, and then there was the limit break on Mieze, even though there was no chance of follow-up at all. So I think that was a really wasted opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, seeing an LB go out that soon with that much HP was just unfortunate. Mieze locking himself into emotion lock as they try and get a counter LB out, but unfortunately suffering because of that. You have got to time your LB efficiently because otherwise you're going to just get caught off guard. It's really useful to try and pair it with a defensive such as Arm's Length, to be honest.
Yeah, being openly like that is just looking for trouble. But now we have the Wolf's Heart going over to Dodo. Jinxie with no mana at all, but at least the limit break is there to maybe delay a death a bit longer.
Yeah, Jinxie really gonna feel the fire here on this Dart Burst coming out, having absolutely no way to heal them through that with sub 1k MP. That was rough to watch.
Yeah, I've seen them holding off their Purify because they knew exactly.
They knew it was coming, yeah.
Now it's time to either farm the range or put on pressure for the Lats because you don't want them to counter kill you again. So
yeah, we've seen that like the past two games. Like the lads have just got to keep going now. Sure, they're in the lead, but it's not that much of a lead. Inori going down instantly before they can pop anything. Rampart Reprisal, Tank LB, there was not a chance for any of them to go out. And this is looking like the lads could snatch this one.
Yeah. No, it's look a bit like the lads really try hard this one because they know that they are in a trouble if they lose this. It's not really difficult to come back and win this. Now they have to kill the Dragoon.
Yeah, this is unfortunate.
It's difficult.
And unfortunately, Jinxie has no MP, so they can't really commit with any Dias to keep up that pressure. And it looks, however, like the lads are kind of falling back, so I'm hoping that they can manage to survive. But Dodo's got full MP, and they have a healthy collection of defensive resources to use.
Yeah, with the healer break and stuff, and the pressure on the summoner, there won't be enough time to push in the enemy base and try to get the medals back.
Yep, Sinatra going down once again. This is looking like it will be revenge for the lads, and it looks like their little switch around with jobs to Dragoon and Black Mage is doing them really well.
Look how comfortable they are. They're still pushing instead of falling back right now. They feel good that they're winning this. They know it.
Yeah, with 30 seconds left and that Tank LB going out, it's not looking like they're going to get anywhere near to winning this game. But, you know, crazier things have happened.
Yeah. No, it will be difficult to look into net match because you lose this game in such a way. You have to mentally reset now, or else you're going into the tilt and even lose the next one and your chance of full points. So
and that is the lads.
Yeah, at this point you just stop and get ready for the next match.
Yeah, we're seeing we can see instantly just the difference in pressure. Jinxie's HP restored is like 150k more than what it previously was, and that's just look at that damage going out there from Evray, partnered with a Black Mage's Phantom Dart. It's definitely going to require a rethink in the newbie hunter's strategy.
Yeah. Now they have to take care more of Sinatra so they can dish out more of that damage, get some good swaps, catch Dodo Thieves more off guard, and then secure the win like that.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I think what's going to happen, unfortunately, is what needs to happen rather is Jinxie needs to potentially conserve their MP a little bit more. In the previous games, they were able to whack out their MP because they knew that there wasn't going to be too much of a powerful burst. But now with that Dragoon, Black Mage, White Mage combination, it's catching them off guard, and we saw that at the end when they were just falling under way too much pressure.
Yeah, you can just tunnel one target and drain their resources with Dragoon Black Mage so easily that you don't have a really hard time thinking about the next target because you just tunnel.
Yeah, this could definitely be our first draw of the evening. So if the newbie hunters win this, they will be victorious. But the lads, it seems like they are refining their playstyle right now. And that last game, they just dominated. This could be our first draw of the tournament.
Yeah, we'll be excited to see a draw. But at the same time, I want people to win and enjoy their points and feel good.
See, I'm always rooting for, like, the losing team. I'm always rooting for the underdog. I'm like, get them! Get them! Kill them!
So
Dashing
now
in
we
now.
have to take a look at Destiny again. Hopefully his melee enables them to dish out some damage and have good positioning.
Yeah, both ranged bursting onto each other there. Uriel cementing themselves into the ground as they're happily hardcasting against Sinatra. Sinatra holding onto that Adel and no protect being used. A really well-timed reprisal from Inori in general.
Look at that wall dancing! This is so funny because they can't hit each other, they're so afraid.
Yeah, but it's putting Uriel into a potentially open situation right now, and he does make an easy target to hard swap too, if he runs up the base, which he is.
Oh, whoa! So the counter burst. Yeah, you see that dart, you better run. But now with Protect everything up, I would go back and dish out some damage.
Yeah, I think they've got to do that now. As long as that Protect is up. Sinatra going down, unfortunately. That would have been a good time to potentially have used Adel, I think, knowing that they were coming for you.
Yeah, Oriel didn't have to participate a lot for that kill. It's just the pressure that gets Jinxie at one point.
Oh, this is going to be an interesting one. I really do think that could potentially be our first draw. But it does seem like Jinxie is holding a lot more onto their MP this time. Which is interesting to see because it's definitely a different playstyle. Uriel getting that Dart Burst, whacking out an Adel as soon as they can, but it wasn't enough!
Yeah, there we go. Now it's getting interesting because now the melees are the prime targets. And with that, the ranges are a lot more activated now, so they can stay more offensive because they know they won't be the next target for quite a while.
I'm just surprised that was a kill. Uriel literally used Adel as soon as that burst hit. But I think it was just the fact that they were open, they were in the open, and they had nowhere to really run to. Evray getting burst pretty hard, but he's staying in with those Talons. Unfortunately, unfortunately he didn't LOS soon enough.
It's really tough dying as a Dragoon behind a wall like that. Sometimes it's better just to fall back if you are unsure of how long you can keep up.
Yeah, he was trying to stay in there with some Talons to try and get that kill on Sinatra, but unfortunately they needed to LOS at that situation right there. That Dart Burst going out, being met by a very well-timed arm's length, not doing any damage as they try and get that Cannon Burst onto Barney, who is currently just in there in the open.
Yeah, I love that they're pressuring Barney so much now because it's all that they need right now. But unfortunately, they are going down, and now it's dead even again, I guess.
That was a bit of an overkill, I think. That was very much a stop. He's already dead kind of situation. That LB was pretty strong. Sinatra getting really hardly beaten up right now as they do a counter burst onto Evray. Evray with that dart managing to get healed really successfully there by Dodo, and they are staying in and keeping that pressure up.
The limit breaks had everyone to keep up and holding off the pressure of the healer, keeping them alive a little longer.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mise going down. Evray not being faltered by that LB. They stayed in. I feel like that LB was definitely being used from Mise to try and push them back. But it just didn't work, and now they have a full Dart Burst onto Sinatra. Sinatra using that Adel though, but it's looking like this is a really tough game for the newbie hunters.
It was a good punishment indeed. I don't think Mizukat expected a swap on them at all.
Oh, perfect jump there from Evray as he just hides around the corner and then just jumps in for that kill.
Love it. I love it. It's so good. Now, with 1.5 minutes left, great spawning. They have to kind of secure it, get some higher chances with the limit break to kill the tank or the healer to turn around and win the match.
Yeah, it's looking like an uphill battle, but I think that they can do it. They're not too many medals behind, but with Zanadra going down again, down to 13 medals, it's looking really unlikely. Zanadra's just unable to go in right now due to this amount of pressure.
The Lads are on fire. They're just going and going. Look at the push. Damn, Jinxie is getting all the pressure now.
Literally, the lads have just like gone into full beast mode. You know, the lads they've had their cheeky Nandos with the lads and they are out with a vengeance.
Yeah, they have activated the Dark Tome of Peace. So you will see them just going in, pressuring until the end. Because usually you have seen the last time they've been falling back, they've suddenly lost their momentum.
Yeah.
And now they just keep it up, whether they die or not. Now it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, that pressure just been way too much. Jinxie having to overlap Protect and Temperance to try and survive. There's no way that they can snatch this back. With 13 seconds left, we are going to have our first draw of the Coliseum.
Clap. Celebrate. At least for the Lutz, it's a happy outcome. The best they could hope for.
And that point goes again to the lads. Really nicely played. Again, some really strong damage there. But Mise doing some pretty good damage there as well. Crazy games. HP restored from both Dodo and Jinxie is a lot.
Yeah, it's tons. He tried his best. Unfortunate for him, it wasn't. But for the last match, it was exhilarating. I loved not to know who is winning and the kind of different approaches to the game. And having such an exciting match to watch is just great.
Like, that was insane. We've had some really good games tonight, and I'm really happy that was the last game of the evening, because that was fantastic to watch. Tonight has just been insane. We've seen so many double LB kills, which I love. The lads just coming back with a pure vengeance there and managing to just give the newbie hunters a run for their money. It seems like Black Mage Dragoon was the right combination for them.
And even we have seen the first Scholar and different comps than yesterday, and it was something new to watch and be excited to. I'm sorry for you, you couldn't be the first Scholar, but at least you could maybe be the first Astrologian.
We'll see. White Mage is still dominating all of these games though, but it was nice to see a Scholar in action tonight, which was lovely. But that is our final game of the evening. It's been an exciting night. It's been a pretty interesting time. We are, however, going to be going again very soon with the remainder of the teams. That next stream is potentially going to be on either Wednesday the 12th or Thursday the 13th, which is next week. And we hope that we can see you there.
I had a blast talking and casting with you these games, and I'm really happy that we are able to have such an amazing going.
Yeah, I love seeing this, and it's just a testament to how great the EU Feast community is. We have so many teams, so many players, and so many people working behind the scenes on this that it's really fantastic to be a part of. Next Wednesday and Thursday will be our next matches. I am going to be playing on one of those days as well, so I need to try and get some practice in, because I am rusty.
Yeah, and I'm starving, and you should make light pop tomorrow. All right.
You heard that, guys. We need light to pop, apparently. So queue up a light after this. But before we go, we would also like to thank the Rival Wings Discord, Revival Wings, Revival now that it is known as, for their continued support throughout this entire endeavor. Please do make sure to queue up for Rival Wings. It's a really fun game mode, and it's pretty active recently as well, and we really, really do appreciate your support.
You know what would be exciting? A Rival Wing tournament.
Ooh, what, like just like teams of 24 people or 48 or whatever it is.
That would be insane. Imagine getting so many people together.
Imagine trying to like coordinate that. Like, I think that people would. That would just be crazy.
That would be crazy indeed.
But thank you guys very much for joining us tonight. And we would like to thank everyone behind the scenes as well. And we will see you all whenever the next time be. Keep your eyes out on the Discord. It will be either on Wednesday or Thursday. And thank you all so much for joining us. And I hope you all have a brilliant and fantastic Saturday evening. Have a lovely night.
Goodbye.
Ciao.